used to bring the smell of rain into my bed and lie so close to me. You could be inside my head. Maybe it's a once in a lifetime kind of thing to feel the kind of magic that your love brings. around you, and forever peace will surround you. Forever.
Woohoo! Shotspot!
Forever, peace will surround you, 'cause the arms of the sun have found you, have found you, have found you. The arms of the sun have found you, and I will be sending you all of my Sahara love, and I will be sending you all of my Sahara love, and I will be sending you all of my Sahara love, and I will be sending you. Be the city lights coming into view. I'll put my arms all the way around you, and forever peace will surround you.
Start a heart attack underneath my skin. Watch how you react when you see the state I'm in. I was the one that you always said that you wanted. I was the one that you always just took for granted. I know that you might not meant those bad times. At least they made me feel lost.
Woohoo! Shotspot! Woohoo!
Attention, please. Send her collie to the nurse's station. Send her collie to the nurse's station. Thank you.
Hi, guys. Hi. Hi. It's Tuesday, guys. What's up? Dude, yesterday sucked. Holy freaking crap. You have no idea how excited I am to not have to work the next 2 days. Oh my god, it was horrible. Captain Grubby, hey, Stampy, Serum, welcome in. Oh, I can't read that background. The blue on the back is the blue background on the black is hard to read. Abicoa, Abicoa? I want to say Abicoa. Abicoa, welcome in. D. Brendan, hey. Nate, what's up? Biko, good to see you. Sawyer Rabbit, they got away with saying hell. I can get away with saying hell. The hell are you doing? They ain't gonna get me in trouble. Rob Map Collie, I see you're a collie now. Welcome to the world of the flops. Now you can flop, and it's fantastic. And you can nip on people's ankles, and they can't be mad at you, because you're just like, hey, I'm just doing my job, I'm hurting.
Shot spot.
Maybe, if you went to the pen like you're supposed to, you wouldn't get nipped in the ankle. But really, you should be mad at yourself. But welcome to the Collie Crew. Oh god, I should have used the Collie Crew for something. Stampy, thanks for the follow, welcome to the Floppy Flock, welcome in. Baracco, thanks for the follow, welcome to the Floppy Flock, welcome in. All is Jake, welcome to the follow, welcome to the Floppy Flock, welcome in. Oh wait, Jake, I know you. I follow you on Twitter, right? You're a nurse, right? Right? Please? Stop putting cats in the pin. Wait, what? Cats in the pin? What are you talking about? Would you put you back in the kennels again? No, please. I don't want to go back to Twitch kennels. You guys had no idea what I had to do in there to survive. You don't want to know. They were horrible, nauseating things. Horrible, though. Horrible. I don't want to go back. What's going on? Hey, Sonic, what's up? Welcome in. Oh, let me get my coffee. Guys, I made a fatal mistake. I screwed up. I usually reheat my coffee like half an hour before stream. But I forgot. I forgot to hit the button to reheat the coffee, so now I have to drink microwaved coffee. Of all the things, I had to pour old coffee into a mug and microwave it to get it hot. But hey, guess what? I need it. And I want it. It doesn't taste bad. It's actually pretty good. Reheat coffee? I mean, I reheat. Generally what I do is I turn on my coffee heater and then the little plate heats up, right? And it reheats it. It's fine. It's usually good for a day. You make a big cup in the morning, you just kind of reheat it throughout the day. It's fine. But then I forgot to reheat it, so I had to microwave it. I don't know, microwave coffee it just hits different. It tastes different. Is it just me or Cinder a bit quiet? Am I quiet? Am I quiet? Is that quiet? It might just be you. Cinder hates cold coffee. I prefer, so iced coffee is okay. I don't mind iced coffee, but I prefer hot coffee. If I had to pick, I prefer hot coffee. 100%. 100%. No one messed with Cinder Carly. I saw his unstoppable rampage on Whiskey's stream. Bexcra! Don't you... You're sworn to secrecy, not to tell, about how I killed everybody in Among Us. I also, got imposter, 7 times, which was just obnoxious, I'm gonna be honest with you. I got to a point where I got imposter so many times, I felt bad about killing people. I didn't want to kill anybody. I was like, I'll just let the other imposter do things and I'll grab a kill here or there throughout the match, but, I was trying not to kill anybody.
Woohoo! Shot spot!
I couldn't help it, though. I had a job to do. I had to do it. You prefer Coke for your caffeine? It'll catch up with you in due time, don't worry. All that sugar. Which is a perfect segue into what we're talking about today, which is diabetes. We've talked about it in the past. We're going to talk about it again. Because it's an important one to understand. And we got a lot of people here who haven't seen the old ones. So, we're going to do that in a little bit. Let's get my coffee. Coffee first. Always coffee first. Always, always, always coffee first. Cinder's a great collie. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Dipbra, hey. What's up? Welcome in. Whiskey is a natural-born killer. He was definitely naturally born dead when I stabbed him in the butt. You're just nipping those ankles. I was. Then there's a role model who anyone will follow. I don't really know if I make a good role model or not. I'm gonna be honest with you. maybe the character and the act that I put on for stream, sure, but I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Does anybody actually, like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. With streaming, with work, with life. Who the hell knows? I've just gotten lucky. Dinner for colleague president? Oh, please no. No. I don't need that pressure. I have trouble deciding what I'm making for dinner any given night. Let alone having to make pressure decisions about certain collie-like political stances. No way. Snowy White Fox, take care. Remember the old ones? Can you ask questions, see how much we remember? I'll ask questions. I've gotten better at asking questions. I will. I meant to say, Cinder's a natural born killer? Look. I'm an institutionalized dog now. When you get thrown to Twitch jail, you don't have a choice. You do what you gotta do to survive. Try split pea and smoked ham soup. I haven't had split pea soup in a long time. My parents used to make it regularly. My mom loved making split pea soup. It's okay. I don't hate it. I can't say if I saw a list of soups at a restaurant, I can't say that I'd pick split pea over probably a couple others. And not that I would ever pick soup over like an actual meal. But split pea soup's not bad. I enjoy it. Even if it does look like vomit, it's still tasty. But it looks like puke. It's straight up split pea soup. They should just rename it to puke soup. It still tastes good, but just like name it what it is. Looks like puke. Drag, I'm coming for those ankles. Give me those freaking ankles, Drag. Ah! When I get back in VR, I'm gonna nip those ankles. It's my white whale. I'm coming for you. Have you watching the sheep today? You better not lose any. They'll help Rob. Okay, so guys, here we go. If we lose any sheep today, it's Rob's fault. Okay? So if I go on break and I leave you guys to watch over the flock, I'm putting Rob Map in charge. And if a sheep goes missing, it's gonna be on Rob. Have you ever had a chili dog? Yeah, it's delicious. Chili dog's fine. I'm fine with chili dog. Okay, let's rephrase the question. Would I pick a chili dog over a Chicago hot dog? No. But if a chili dog was available, and there wasn't any other, like, hot dog options, yeah, I'll eat a chili dog. Chili dog's good. Oh, there's a place, have you guys ever been down to Atlanta? Have you guys ever been to Atlanta, Georgia? There's a place there called the Varsity. It's right off the highway, right downtown. It's like an old established restaurant, the Varsity. So good. Their chili dogs, oh, their chili dogs are tasty. Man. Fat chance, yeah, Drag, I'll see. We'll get it. I'm coming for you. First sheep, now dragons. Wait, what? What about dragons? Who's got dragons? Just sheep. I'm sticking around, might get more information about into what my grandmother has. Are they okay? Hopefully they're okay. I'm getting an index for Christmas. Was wondering if you'd spend my birthday with me. Captain, I don't really like. I appreciate that, but I don't know. I don't really know you. I'm sorry. It's kind of a tough question to ask on the spot. Kali demonstrates what to do with knives. Use my example. Yeah, you stab him in the butt. Right in the butt. You went to school right at Georgia Tech, right next to the Varsity. Yeah, I used to work right down there. I lived there for 4 years. I used to work at Emory Midtown, right downtown. I miss it. I miss Atlanta sometimes. I like the city. The people there are great. The food is fantastic. I loved it. It was a great city. Nathan! What's up, Nathan? Welcome in. Mika, it's okay. We haven't started yet. Also, Mika, what's up? How you been? It's been forever. Holy crap. A lot of ketchup. Who's putting ketchup on a hot dog? No ketchup on a freaking hot dog. You know the rules. You know the rules. I don't make them. I just enforce them. No ketchup on the hot dogs. Come on. Somebody, who asked,
Shazbot!
Serum, what makes a Chicago hot dog a Chicago hot dog? Let me introduce to you. Hot dog perfection. Give me just a second. Hot dog perfection. Hold on. Are you ready? I don't know if you're ready. I don't know if you're ready. Are you guys ready for perfection? Between buns? Look at this delicious thing. Let's start with the base here. What do we got there?
Shazbot!
There's a poppy seed bun. You know those things they make opium out of? Yeah. Shove them in a bun and put meat on it. It's delicious. But it's not just a normal bun. Guess what they do? They steam that thing. That thing is steamed. It is soft and delicious. And then you can't have a hot dog without some good meat. Vienna beef hot dogs. Vienna beef hot dogs are just amazing. Amazing. How do you cook those hot dogs? Preferably, I like them steamed. But you can also grill them, that's okay. This one seems to be grilled, but I like steamed. Vienna beef hot dog. You gotta start with a good bun, a good dog. Good dog. And then what's this right on top of it? What is that? Do you see any ketchup there? No. Mustard. Nice yellow mustard. Classic. Yellow mustard on a hot dog? Classic, classic, classic. Can't beat it. What are you guys saying? Oh, well, where's the ketchup? Well, where's the ketchup? Well, guess where? The ketchup's in the freaking trash. Because we got something better. We got ketchup's daddy. Tomatoes. Actual freaking tomatoes. You know the things that ketchup is made out of before you put a bunch of sugar in it? Look at those juicy red things. Delicious. And then you're saying, well, what other condiments can we put on a hot dog? Well, you gotta have onion. If you don't like the taste of onion, then you just don't like flavor. Because onion is delicious. Okay, well, you got the onion on there. What else? How about some relish? Some neon green relish. Oh, give me some of that pickle vinegar taste. Oh, it just brings all the flavors together. I know some of you guys are saying, well, but Cinder, it's not spicy enough. It's not spicy enough. Well, guess what? The Chicago hot dog has got you covered. Because you know what these guys right here are? Those are those sport peppers. Little pepperoncinis. Oh, got a nice little kick to them. Fit right on there with the hot dog. Oh, delicious. And then I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. How can you have the perfect hot dog without a giant ass pickle on it? Because pickles are delicious. And they're tasty. And it gives it a nice snap, a nice crunch. That's what you get back there, a nice big old pickle. And then you pick all that up and shove it in your face, and then you enjoy hot dog perfection. I will die on this hill. So help me God, I will die on this hill. Need I say more? It looks so gross. What? How dare? How dare? It's delicious. There's class for today? There is. But we're just gonna take a second and we're just gonna appreciate perfection that is a Chicago style hot dog. Where's the bacon? Not necessary. Not necessary. It's already the perfect flavor profile that you don't need to add anything else to it. What else could you even add? It's got everything you could ever want. It's delicious. It's tasty. It's not great for you, but it's still good every once in a while. Virgo, hey, welcome in. What's up? Axo, thank you for appreciating an amazing hot dog. Thank you. You understand, Axo. I know you do. Does a Chicago dog have my hopes and dreams? No, but it might help you achieve them. Your sheer flavor, power of flavor, it'll help you achieve your hopes and dreams. I'm not an official spokesperson for Chicago hot dogs, but I'm here to tell you that if you eat a Chicago hot dogs, all your hopes and dreams will come true. But I'm not an official spokesperson. I'm just saying, it's tasty. Is that hot dog made from actual dog? No. Where's a mac and cheese hot dog with bacon? Somewhere else. Not in Chicago. Although you can, they have like hot dog places. You can get that. But if you just want straight up Chicago hot dog, that's it right there. Classic, classic, classic. Your thoughts on hot dogs with sauerkraut? Don't bother me none. No bacon, Moose. No bacon. It doesn't need bacon. It's already got pork. Why do they call it a hot dog? There's no dog in it? I mean, it's a Frankfurter. But I guess at some point, Americans decide to name it hot dog. I don't know why. Probably because it's a lot easier to say hot dog than it is to say Frankfurter. Fried pickles and ranch on a hot dog? I'd eat it. I'd eat it. What about chocolate syrup? Ew, no, gross. Nasty. Oh, God. Chocolate syrup? Ugh. Sauerkraut? I like sauerkraut. Sauerkraut's good. Because no one wants a cold dog? Exactly. Nobody wants a cold dog. What about heart and hoisin? You talking about like hoisin sauce? Like the plum sauce that you get at like, what, like Vietnamese restaurants? That stuff is good. I like hoisin. Hoisin's good. What about ranch with a corn dog? Fine. Tasty. No ketchup on a hot dog though. Them's the rules. Yeah, hoisin sauce is tasty. I like hoisin. I don't know if I'd put it on a hot dog, but you know. We call hot dogs snag? You really? Like, hey, put a snag on the grill? Nani? Nani? Speaking of diabetes, hot dogs. Yes, we're going to talk about diabetes. We're going to talk about it. I know I've talked about it before in the past, but we're going to talk about it again because it's important to understand how your body works. I just looked it up. They're called hot dogs because in the 1800s, they were sold in things called dog carts. So let me get one of those hot things off the dog cart. Let me get one of those hot dog carts. Let me just get one of those hot dogs. And then the name stuck. Now we got hot dogs. I call it carbonated beverage instead of pop or soda. Guys, 1 in the chat if you call it soda. 2 in the chat if you call it pop. 1 for soda, 2 for pop. You say soda or pop? Let's find out who's from the Midwest. William's from the Midwest. Channel Fluffy Boy. You gotta be from the Midwest somewhere. That's a Midwestern thing. Ram the Wolf. Who calls it Coke? That would be South. Atlanta. They ever call everything Coke. So, the Midwest calls it pop. Everybody else pretty much calls it soda. Except for like Atlanta, which calls everything Coke. Because, they just do. I call it soda. Despite growing up in Chicago, where everybody calls it pop, I call it soda because my parents aren't from Chicago. So when I grew up with them, they, learning how to speak, they always called it soda. So I called it soda. But all my friends called it pop. Because a lot of people in Chicago call it pop. I don't ever call it pop, though. I just don't like it. And as far as I know, does anybody actually call it soda pop? Does anybody still refer to soda as soda pop? What's my favorite? Dr. Pepper. If I had to pick one, Dr. Pepper. I love me some Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, I have a shirt that says Dr. Pepper on it. I actually have a shirt for that. Sprite Gang? I used to... Okay, I'm sorry. It just seems so foreign to me to be like, you have all of these soda options available to you, and you can have a Sprite. To me, Sprite was always like a secondary or tertiary choice, right? It's like Dr. Pepper. Okay, no Dr. Pepper, then probably like Coke or root beer or Pepsi. None of those? Okay, I guess I'll take a Sprite. I never really thought about Sprite being someone's like favorite drink. Cheerwine? Cheerwine is pretty damn good. If you've never had Cheerwine is good. Can't stand Dr. Pepper or root beer? They're way too bitter? Yeah, more for me. Sprite is good. I like to mix fruit punch in it. Sprite is refreshing. I mean, as refreshing as soda can be, I guess. Raku, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the flock. Welcome in. It's too powerful for my taste. Oh, Cheerwine is delicious. Whenever I go to Cookout, always gotta get a Cheerwine when you go to Cookout. All right, guys, let's learn. Canada Dry ginger ale. I do like ginger ale. Does Fritz Lemonade exist in the US? Not that I'm aware of. Turn the music down a bit. Orange Tang? Who still drinks Orange Tang? Where are you getting Tang? Canada Dry is pretty good. Do love Canada Dry. Alright, guys. We're gonna break character. We're gonna start teaching. We've talked in the past about diabetes before. I've done lectures about it. We've talked about it. Every once in a while someone will request for me to do it again, so I'm kind of out of topics at the moment that I feel super passionate about teaching, so we're going to revert back to some older ones and relearn, because it's important to relearn topics. Real quick, in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you have diabetes. 2 in the chat if you don't. It could be type 1, type 2, it doesn't matter. 1 in the chat if you have diabetes, 2 if you don't. Also, kind of fitting considering that we're talking about soda in chat, which is terrible for you. The Adventures of Barrio, I see you. Diabetes, my name's Wilford Brimley and I got diabetes. Okay, let's rephrase the question. Put a 3 in the chat if you know someone who's been affected by diabetes, and a 4 if you know nobody who's ever had it. 3 in the chat if you know somebody who's had it, 4 if you've never seen anybody with it. I'm gonna see a lot of 3s in the chat, I know it. You're type 2? Bam, really? Zay, you too. A weird animal? Really? DJ Dragon? Okay, as far as you know, you don't know anybody who has it. I promise you, probably ran into somebody who has diabetes in some way or another. So I have to learn about diabetes. I'm learning about that next week in MedSurge. Well, congratulations. Let me give you a little teaser as to what you're going to learn in probably more depth once you go through your school.
Shotspot!
Because I'm not going to go into all the pathophys about it and all the chemistry and whatnot that gets involved with it, because it becomes really crazy. And I'm not that smart. Rick, welcome in. Thanks for the host. You genuinely don't know any diabetic. Give it time. About 10% of the world's population has diabetes. So why does diabetes, or more commonly referred to as diabetes mellitus? So there's actually 2 types of what we call diabetes. 2 main categories, right? You have diabetes mellitus, which is what we commonly think of with diabetes, which is your type 1s and your type 2s, your gestational diabetes, those kind of things, right? Diabetes insipidus, which is a whole different subset, has nothing to do with blood sugar or anything else. It's completely different. is another type of what we call diabetes, but we'll just as FYI, there's something known as diabetes insipidus. We are not going to talk about diabetes insipidus today. We're going to talk about diabetes mellitus. The difference, commonly referred to as like DM. We'll see like DM2, right? So diabetes mellitus type 2 or DM1, right? So just making that clear that we are talking about diabetes mellitus, not diabetes insipidus. Two separate things. Two separate things. Diabetes insipidus has to do with oh crap, what is it? It's like it happens after head trauma sometimes. There's damage to the body, to a certain part in the body and the brain that affects the way that you secrete certain hormones that make you go pee. It's really weird. You barely learn about it. It's like a kind of like a cursory thing, but diabetes mellitus is a big one. That's what we're going to talk about. So about 10% of the world's population is affected by diabetes mellitus, with about 90% of those cases being type 2 and the other 10% being type 1. So there's your general breakdown of how many the breakdown of diabetics. About 90% of them are type 2, with an additional 10% being type 1 diabetes. And then you also factor in all the other stuff like gestational diabetes and all this other stuff. But for general purposes, think about 9 to 1, about 90% to 10%. What's today's lessons? Diabetes. Talk about diabetes. Now, I will preface this lecture that when I was working on when I worked inpatient, when I worked on my cardiothoracic surgery unit, I was a quote-unquote diabetic champion. So all the nurses had to be a champion of a specific topic that, like, if a patient needed extra teaching on, or we would be involved in like rolling out new protocols and whatnot. I chose diabetes as my champion group. So whenever we'd have a patient come in who was like newly diagnosed diabetes or needed help with their diabetes, they would send me in there to help kind of get things started. You're the diabetic educator for your unit as well? Well, hell yeah! Hopefully, what I'm about to explain to you is accurate. Also, Jake, what's up? You ICU nurses. You're in ICU, right? You ICU nurses. You guys are screwed in the head, man. You guys are so freaking weird. I don't know how you do it. Wait, hold on. Hypothalamus gets messed up and messes with regulation of ADH and vasopressin. That's what happens with diabetes insipidus. Yeah, it has nothing to do with blood sugar or anything. Because the opposite of diabetes insipidus, so if you think of like you have like a spectrum, right? We have diabetes insipidus on one side, which is retention of urine. You have what's called SIADH on the other side, which is syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone, which is too much, so excessive urination. I've seen a patient with SIADH, they pee a lot. Like a lot. But anyways, we won't get into diabetes insipidus because there's no need to, because it's not related to what we're talking about. It's pretty interesting in my area. Are only older people fat? There's almost no young fat people. Flonky, well, you're in like Europe, right? Somewhere? Okay. So, what is diabetes? Let's break it down this way. The easiest way to define diabetes is to define it as too much glucose in your blood. So, too much glucose in blood. That's how I like to think about it, because how we get to this is what differentiates the type 1 and the type 2. But ultimately, the end goal is going to be we have too much glucose in the blood. That is the ultimate end goal of diabetes, essentially. So, in order to talk about what goes wrong, we need to know what happens when things go right. Okay? JJ Saul, take care. I should be back to work. Love you. Bye. JJ Saul, bye. Take care. Enjoy work. Hopefully it goes well. So, your body eats food. Your body needs food. You eat, right? You get hungry. Man, we're talking about cookout. Maybe you go to cookout and you get yourself a huge burger with a quesadilla and a corn dog with a side of cheer wine, because it's so good, right? So you go to cookout, you get your food, right? Sit down at your table, you say, I'm gonna eat this food. And what do? You eat the food, right? Food makes its way down into your stomach. Here's our stomach, right? Food ends up in your stomach here. And your stomach digests the food and breaks it down to glucose. What is glucose? Glucose is a sugar that our body utilizes to make energy. It is the basic block of energy, right? Having to do with, like, I don't even know if you guys remember the Krebs cycle, I believe is involved. Glucose is involved in the Krebs cycle, if I can remember all the way back to original, like, my early biology classes. Diffuse, hot dogs with ketchup, abso-freaking-lutely not. You can get out of here with that kind of language, sir. Inappropriate for the street. Inappropriate. Hi, Diffuse, what's up? Moose! You got the moose! Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Moose in ya, moose in ya. Bite me? Fine! I will! At some point, I will bite you. When you least expect it. It'll be a surprise. You'll be standing there being all like, hi everybody, I'm Diffuse Moose. I'm doing a VR stream and having pizza with no pineapple on it because I have horrible food opinions. And I'm just going to sneak up beneath you. You're not even going to be paying attention. And I'm going to nip those freaking ankles. Moose, I love you. Not getting a tray from Cookout. What are you doing, Cinder? You get it. Well, you get the tray, and instead of French fries, you get the grill or the fried cheese bites. You got to get the cheese bites. They're delicious. Okay, so food gets broken down into glucose. The glucose then enters your blood. Okay, which causes around here your glucose level in your blood to rise. We'll call it BG for short. Blood glucose goes up. Your body senses this rise in blood glucose and tells the pancreas to release insulin. I always forget, there's no E after pancreas, right? Yeah. That releases insulin, which insulin works as a key to open up the cells to allow glucose to go in. So, without insulin, so if you think of like, we got like a door right here, right? Here, let's do like this. Here's our cell, right? Got a little glucose receptor on the end, right? You got this glucose hanging around. That's going to be these little arrows, right? You see how it would fit right in here. Okay, so you got all this glucose flying, or all this insulin flying around. So what this does is when insulin binds to the cell, right? When it interacts with the cell, essentially what it does is it opens up the cell so that sugar can go in. We'll make sugar green. That little sugar can go on into the cell, okay? And then the cell can utilize that sugar to create energy to maintain its functions, okay? That is how this works. Insulin equals key, okay? Insulin is the key to open up the cells to let the glucose in. That is the concept that needs to be understood, because if you understand that concept, you understand why it's so bad when things go wrong and how it affects it, right? So, insulin equals key, all right? Glucose needs to go into the cells for the cell to function. Without insulin, glucose cannot go into the cell. Make sense? Makes sense. So, you eat food, your body breaks down into glucose, glucose circulates in your blood, your body senses a rise in blood sugar, tells pancreas to release insulin so that glucose can enter the cells and you can maintain normal bodily function. All right? All right. Before we move on to talking about the different types of diabetes, is there any questions on this process? Does anybody have any questions about this? Starches and sweets add a lot of glucose. Yes, if you eat sugar, you're going to have a lot of extra sugar to break down and a lot of extra sugar circulating in your blood. How do you lose the function of making insulin? We're going to get there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Metalworking, you're late. You haven't missed much. You're actually coming at a good time. All right. It's made from what kind of food? Like all foods. Pretty much all food can be broken down into glucose at some point. It's sugar. Certain things like, I think like fiber, right? Like we don't really digest fiber well, which is why It's great for pooping because it doesn't get digested, so it makes bulk, right? But pretty much all the food that we eat is going to get broken down into glucose one way or another. Okay, so we've talked about how the normal process should work. You eat, you break down food into glucose, goes into your blood sugar rises, pancreas senses that, releases insulin, insulin opens up the cells so the glucose can go in. Talk about type 1 diabetes. Now, remember, I told you, type 1 diabetics make up about 10% of diabetics, right? The other 90% are type 2 diabetics, but type 1 makes up about 10%. It's a bit rarer. Honestly, though, I'll tell you from an emergency room standpoint, we see a lot of type 1 diabetics because if you're going to go into some kind of medical emergency as a diabetic, type 1s go into it much quicker. And it can get a lot more serious. And I'm going to tell you why. In just a second, let me take a sip of water. Mastermind, you're late. You're late, everybody. Everybody, look at Mastermind. Look at them coming in late. Yeah. You're going to walk all the way to the back of class because that's the only seat available and we're all going to watch you. Your punishment for being late. I'm just messing with you. You show up whenever you want, Mastermind. What's up? Dorky Wolf, you too? All right, all right. March of shame. Let's go to the back of class. That's right. You respect the teacher's time. Okay. So, type 1 diabetics, they don't make any insulin. Or they make so little insulin that it's just basically ineffective. How does this happen? So, I'm not going to draw the pancreas. Remember last time I drew the pancreas? It looked like a penis. Because the pancreas kind of looks like a penis. So, I'm going to draw a nondescript blob. This is our pancreas. Okay, so in your pancreas, you have these little things called the islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans, which look kind of like this. You get these you got these cells that kind of group up, little islets. But what's important are these blue ones right here. These are what we call our beta cells. Your beta cells are responsible for making insulin. So the beta cells in the islet, I think I'm spelling this right, of Langerhans. I don't know who Langerhans was or who Dr. Langerhans was, but they identified the islets of Langerhans. So within the islets of Langerhans, you have beta cells that make insulin. Okay? Well, what happens in type 1 diabetics? What happens in type 1 diabetics is you have an autoimmune issue. And something that happens within your immune system triggers, I believe it's your T cells, to attack these beta cells. Here's a little angry T cell. Right? And it triggers your T cells to attack the beta cells. And slowly over time, the beta cells die out to the point where you no longer have either a sufficient amount or any at all, and you stop making insulin. I don't think they really truly know why this happens. They're pretty sure it's a genetic issue. There's a genetic issue with this. Arcade Spitfire, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Fobby Flock. Welcome in. Exlo, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Fobby Flock. Welcome in. So the T cells attack the beta cells in the islets of Langerhans and essentially inhibit or destroy your ability to make insulin. So sometimes typically you find these patients, they get diagnosed pretty early on in their childhood. But sometimes, I mean, you'll see it with like people under 30, right, get diagnosed with this. So sometimes they might live for a couple years and not have any issues until eventually this whole process starts and they end up as a type 1 diabetic. So the insulin or the T cells attack the beta cells. You no longer are creating insulin. So what happens? Your blood sugar goes up. right? Because remember the process that we talked about. You eat food, you break down food into glucose, it goes into your blood sugar rises, and your pancreas says, hey, we need to make insulin, but you can't make insulin. So the system's broken down now. So the blood sugar goes up, right? And you just continue functioning as you would normally. You eat again, it goes up again, and so forth. And it keeps rising, and you have no way of getting that sugar out of the blood. Let's talk about some of the symptoms that occur when you have really, really high blood sugar. Hyperglycemia, high sugar in blood. So high blood sugar, hyperglycemia. There are 3 hallmark symptoms of hyperglycemia. Polyphagia, polyuria, and polydipsia. You can also add a 4th one on here, which is glucoseuria. But if you're just thinking from like a general identification standpoint, or if you're just thinking about just general things, these two kind of go hand in hand. But we'll talk about that in a second. Polyphagia, always hungry or eating a lot. So phagia meaning eating, poly meaning a lot. So always eating. Polyuria. Can anyone guess what polyuria is? What does urea sound like? Hey! What about polydipsia? What do you guys think dipsia means? Polydipsia. Always what? We know what the last one we just talked about. You're always peeing. Drinking! Always drinking. Or always thirsty. I guess you could actually make this hungry. Polyuria, polyphagia, polydipsia. So, and then glucoseuria. It just means... Oh, get out of here, phone. Don't do that. Glucose in urine. So, as your blood sugar starts to rise and rise and rise, it gets higher and higher and higher. One of the first things you're going to notice is your body, with its inability to compensate at the moment with insulin, is going to try to get rid of some of this sugar, right? Your body goes, oh crap, I got all this sugar in my blood, I need to get rid of it. What's one way I can get rid of it? Well, the good old kidneys. Kidneys can filter out glucose. They shouldn't be filtering out too much glucose, but they can filter out glucose. Your body says, okay. Let's start filtering out glucose in the kidneys, and we'll just pee it out. So what happens? Your kidneys start to filter out more glucose, but with glucose goes water. Water likes to follow glucose. So you start pulling out more glucose out of your blood. You're also going to pull out more water, which means you're going to be peeing more frequently. These patients are urinating a lot because it's their body's way of trying to compensate for this high level of blood sugar. Well, if you're peeing a lot, you're going to be dehydrated, which means you're going to be super thirsty all the damn time. So they get polydipsia because they got to keep up for all that fluid loss that they're losing. Very curious, what did you walk into? You walked into learning, education. We're talking about diabetes. So these two kind of go hand in hand, right? You're peeing a lot because you're trying to get rid of all that glucose. And in doing so, you're dragging a lot of water out with it, in which case that dehydrates you, so then your body tells you to drink more, so you're always thirsty. And then that also ties into here with the glucoseuria, because your body is trying to pee out a lot of sugar, you end up with high levels of sugar in your urine, right? But what about the polyphagia, the always eating? What about polyphagia? Why are you always hungry? Well, remember, your cells need glucose to function. And without insulin, your cells are not getting the glucose they need. So they start breaking down excess products, right? They start breaking down alternate pathways to get energy. And your body starts saying, hey, our cells aren't getting the sugar that we need. We need to eat more. We're hungry. The cells aren't getting sugar. We need to eat more, right? You start eating more. Because your body's like, hey, we're starving, when in reality, you're not starving, you just have no way of moving that sugar to where it needs to be. So these are like your 4, albeit 3 plus 1, hallmark symptoms of like diabetes. So we get patients come in all the time, right? Undiagnosed diabetics coming in saying they've been drinking a lot, they can't stop drinking. I feel like I'm getting up in the middle of the night and I'm peeing like 5-6 times in the middle of the night, and that's never happened before, and I'm like having to go more frequently, and I'm just like, I'm going through gallons of water a day. Sometimes I'll even ask my patients, does your urine have a fruity smell to it, or a sweet smell? Sometimes you can get patients with so much sugar in their urine that you can smell it. You can smell it, you can't. It becomes so oversaturated with glucose that you can smell the sweetness in their urine. And I've asked patients that, and some patients have told me, yes, it smells different. It smells sweet. My first thought when patients come in with those symptoms is diabetes, right? Now, what happens if this goes untreated? Blood sugar keeps rising, going up, going up, going up. Body's not making insulin. Your cells are sitting there saying, feed me, eat, I'm hungry, I need something, I cannot function without food. I cannot function without glucose. Well, like I said, your body starts to turn towards alternative energy sources, which are not as efficient. Who's ever heard of diabetic ketoacidosis? DKA. Jake, of course you've heard of DKA. Are you serious? Of course you know what DKA is. I'd be surprised if you didn't. Diabetic ketoacidosis is an emergent situation that needs to be treated in an emergency department, in a hospital. We see this often enough. I'd say probably like, I don't know, 3 to 4 times a month I get a patient in DKA, depending on, it's going to get a lot worse here around the holidays. DKA always gets super bad around the holidays because people just eat their minds out. All the sugary stuff. It's cold where I'm at, so this is just, oh, dude. Also, Mika, you're definitely Dragon's Bane, right? You just changed your name? It's definitely Dragon's Bane, because only Dragon's Bane gives me coffee. Because Dragon's Bane knows that I like coffee. So many frequent flyers with DKA. We have a lady who will purposely put herself into DKA so she can come in the hospital because she just likes it. She just stops taking her insulin and just throws herself into DKA, and we treat her like, I'm talking about like sometimes multiple times a week. She's in the emergency department in DKA. We treat her. She goes home. She's right back in. It's like, it just happens. Mika is Dragon's Bane. That's what I thought. Okay, I wanted to confirm. So, we're at a point now where your cells are sitting here starving, craving energy. What do they start to do? They start to break down alternative sources of energy. One of those being fat. Your body starts to break down fat. Well, fat, while being a good long-term storage for energy, doesn't really make for great... It's not a good thing to use as your primary source of energy. Because what happens is when you break down fats, you get fatty acids. And then the liver turns those into ketone bodies. Because ketone bodies are what your cells can use. Ketones are what your cells can use for energy, right? They use the ketones. But ketones, if you have a high collection of these, creates an acidotic state. So your blood becomes acidic. And we've talked about in the past, when I talked about blood gases, the dangers of acidosis and how fragile our body and metabolism and everything is when that pH drops below 7.35. Remember, we talked about 7.35 to 7.45 is your pH level that's normal. As you drop below 7.35, you become acidotic, right? And we've talked about how dangerous that can be and how quickly that can go bad, right? Because as you start to become more acidic, certain processes stop working. And when processes stop working, they affect other processes, and the whole house of cards comes crumbling down. So, in a patient who's in diabetic ketoacidosis, because they don't have insulin, their cells can't get glucose. So the cells go to alternative forms of energy, one of those being fat. When you break down fat, it turns them into fatty acids, which the liver turns into ketones, which the body can use for energy. But if you're using this as a primary source of energy, you're going to have a lot of extra ketones sitting around. And when you have a lot of ketones sitting in the blood, you go into an acidotic state. Does that make sense? This is a medical emergency. If this is left untreated, it will kill you. It will kill you. What are some of the symptoms that you'll see of someone with DKA? Well, it's a lot of the same symptoms that you'll see with patients who are in any kind of metabolic acidosis. Increased respiratory rate, what we call Kussmaul's respirations. You see, I can never spell Kussmaul's. I wrote it down. Kussmaul's respirations, which are deep labored breathing. The idea being here, you breathe off CO2, you can increase your pH. Because remember, carbon dioxide, we talked about in the blood gases, carbon dioxide forms into carbonic acid, which is acidic. So if you can breathe off extra CO2, you can increase the pH of your blood. You can make your blood more basic or more alkalotic, right? So your body tries to compensate for this acidosis related to the ketones by getting these deep labored breaths to try to breathe off that extra CO2 in order to maintain that homeostatic pH. You might also see on blood work what we call a high anion gap. Also, hold on. Even just doing those deep breaths made me lightheaded. Can only diabetic people get this? Yeah, I mean, in order to have this much of a breakdown, you have to have diabetes. Because diabetes is, like I said, the best way to think of diabetes is to think of it as having high enough amounts of sugar in your blood, right? And that only happens when there's issues with insulin. Okay, I'm good. Okay. There's also something you can have, what we see on blood work called a high anion gap. Also, what you'll see is you'll definitely see blood sugars. Like, we don't just look for the Kussmaul's respirations and the anion gap. Most of the time we can look at a patient, and when you get a sugar in like the 800s, you know that they're going to be DKA. Let me see. I have a list here. Let me see if I can pull up the highest blood sugar I've ever seen on a patient. The highest blood sugar I've ever seen on a patient was over 1,200 milligrams per deciliter. To give you an average idea, normal blood sugar should be about 70 to 100. They are greater than 12,000 or 1,200. Okay, so anion gap. So this is kind of like an extra thing. You guys don't really need to know this, but I think it's kind of interesting. And I wanted to relearn it because I sometimes even forget what it is. So the anion gap is a measure. So when we do your metabolic profile, we get all of your blood work, right? We get all this information about what's in your blood, right? And we can check the difference between your cations and your anions. So cations are positively charged ions, anions are negatively charged ions, right? If you have a high amount of anions, your blood becomes acidic. So, if you have an elevated anion gap, it means that you have more anions, so more negatively charged ions, than you do positively charged, because this should be pretty 1-to-1. It should even itself out. So you'll see patients with a high anion gap. This can be treated with fluids and insulin and correcting the underlying issue. You can also see other symptoms with DKA, such as the normal symptoms you get with acidosis, so nausea, vomiting, and then altered mental status, and sometimes you can even get like brain swelling with this. So diabetic ketoacidosis, how do you treat it? Insulin! Just give them insulin. We give them IV insulin. We put them on an insulin drip. We give them doses of insulin intravenously to help correct that. fluids and electrolytes. And then if you need to, you can reverse the acidosis as well. You can give things, bicarbonate things, to try to reverse acidosis, or calcium, what is it? Calcium, is it calcium carbonate or calcium oh, there's a calcium thing we can give for this as well. Interesting note. We'll talk about this in a little bit too. Oh wait, no, never mind. Talk about that later. It'll make sense later. Calcium gluconate. Thank you, Jay. I knew you would know. Of course you would know. Calcium gluconate. So, any questions about type 1 diabetics before we move on to type 2? I don't understand if the body's becoming acidotic. Shouldn't it have high amounts of positive H+ ions? Maybe, I don't know. That is a good question. Some of this chemistry stuff flies way over my head. I just know that having a high anion gap means that your blood is more acidic, and I believe it's due to having a high amount of anions, which are negatively charged. That's all I know. I don't know much more past that, Loam, because I'm just dumbed up. Who donates insulin? They make it. You're on an insulin drip for 5 or 6 days. It can be a pain in the butt. Also, Zero, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Fast Tote, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Any questions about type 1 diabetics before we move on? And we're going to recap all this stuff in a little bit. So if a type 1 diabetic,
Shotspot!
a type 1 diabetic cannot make insulin, what do you guys think's going on with a type 2 diabetic? They make insulin. I'll tell you, they make insulin. But what do you think's wrong? What breaks down? What part of this chain do you think breaks down? So in type 1 diabetics, your breakdown was here at the insulin, right? The breakdown was we weren't making insulin. But what do you guys think's going on with type 2?
Woohoo!
Quick
Shotspot!
sip of water. Can I pet the flops? Sure, go ahead. Too much insulin? Nope, not quite. The insulin can be used. It can be. The pancreas can't keep up. I'll go with that, yeah. That's a good way of putting it. So your pancreas can't make enough. Or the insulin that it does make is the correct amount, but your cells can't utilize it properly. So, you guys know about tolerances? You heard about like tolerances? So think of like alcoholic, right? Drink a lot of alcohol. Eventually your body becomes tolerant to the alcohol, and you need more alcohol to maintain the same level of drunkenness, right? Tolerance. Same with like you see with pain medicine, pretty much any medication or drug, you can develop tolerance, right? Well, your cells can develop a tolerance or a resistance to insulin. So, everything works properly. The cells, or the insulin is released for the appropriate amount of blood sugar that's in your blood. But then it gets to the cells, and the cells go, we need more. We need more insulin. And your pancreas is like, but this is what we normally give you. The cells are like, yeah, it's just not enough anymore. So your pancreas, in response, ramps up production of insulin. And this will work for a while. Type 2 diabetics can go undiagnosed for a long time because your pancreas can compensate for quite a while until eventually it doesn't. And then you end up in an emergency and you end up sick. So, if a type 1 diabetic makes no insulin, a type 2 diabetic has insulin resistance. Zlifer, hey! What's up? Welcome in. A couple of things can cause this. Poor diet can cause this. Obesity can cause this. Although, not everybody who's obese has diabetes. Not everybody who's a type 2 diabetic is obese. It can contribute to it. So diet, obesity, hypertension or high blood pressure can damage or interfere with some of this, right? Genetics play a role in this as well. Right? Lack of exercise. These can all contribute to type 2 diabetes. Whereas a type 1 diabetic is kind of SOL because of the fact that their pancreas is just crap and it just doesn't work. Type 2 diabetics, lifestyle choices can lead you down the path to becoming a type 2 diabetic. It can. For example, in America, our diets are full of sugar, which means you get high spikes in blood sugar. High spikes in blood sugar mean high spikes in insulin production and secretion, which means that your cells are exposed to insulin more often and develop insulin resistance because it is exposed to more insulin than it should be because you have all this extra sugar in there. Whatever, I'm not going to spell it all out. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Diet plays a role into this. Being obese can play a role into this due to excess fat cells and having extra adipose tissue. Sometimes your pancreas just can't keep up with demand. If you have more cells, you need more insulin. And if you don't have enough insulin being created, well, then some cells are going to miss out, right? You can also get fat buildups on the cell that prevent it from insulin from interacting with it as well. So it is a breakdown with the insulin in the cell. So it's not they don't make insulin. You still make insulin. It's just not working as effectively as it should. So you have insulin resistance. Let me make sure I'm hitting all my key points on here. This makes up for 90% of cases for diabetes. Type 2 diabetic. Like I said, your pancreas will work overtime for this for a while until eventually it can no longer keep up. So you'll have patients who can go years as a type 2 diabetic undiagnosed until eventually it catches up with them. And eventually it will. Eventually it will. Type 2 diabetics, they can have you don't see a lot of type 2 diabetics go into DKA. You don't. It can happen, but it doesn't really happen as often. DKA is almost, a lot of your DKA cases are going to be type 1 diabetics. Type 2 diabetics can get something else. They get what's called hyperosmolar hyperglycemic state. Osmolar hyperglycemic state, or what we call HHS. This is not quite the same as DKA, but there are some overlaps between the two. So there are traits of HHS that diabetic ketoacidosis can have, and there are states of diabetic ketoacidosis that HHS can have. So what happens in HHS? Well, if you have all this sugar floating around in your blood, got all this sugar floating around in here, right? That's sugar. It can't get into the cells by itself, right? So what does it do? It stays in the blood, right? You can become hyperglycemic. You have a high concentration of sugar in the blood, okay? Well, when you have high concentrations of things, they become hyperosmolar. The osmolarity increases because naturally you want to dilute out that high concentration. So what happens is you start to get fluid leaving the cells and entering into the bloodstream to try to dilute out that high concentration of sugar. Well, this leaves the cells dehydrated. And this happens all over the body. You get this like generalized dehydration all throughout the body because you have so much blood sugar in, or so much glucose in your blood. Your blood sugar level is so high that it actually starts to draw water out of the cells as the universe tries to dilute out that solution, right? Because we know, right, with osmolarity and fluids, and right, remember what I said back at the start here when we talked about polyuria, right? Where sugar goes, water likes to follow. Water follows sugar. If you have a lot of sugar in your blood, Water is going to follow that. Will that raise your blood pressure? Probably, and it's going to dry you out too. You go into what we call a hyperosmolar hyperglycemic state, HHS. What you'll sometimes see is sometimes you'll see some ketones in here as well. Like I said, you'll have aspects of DKA that you'll see in HHS, and sometimes when you're in DKA, you'll enter a hyperosmolar state. So you have some hyperosmolarity, although it's probably not as severe as HHS. So you have both. You'll see a little bit in each. But type 2 diabetics are it's very possible for type 2 diabetic to go into HHS. It's more likely for them to go into HHS than it is for them to go into DKA. DKA is pretty much the concern of type 1 diabetics. So what are some of the complications of diabetes? Well, long term, if you have high levels of blood sugar, it's going to damage your entire vascular system. So having really high amounts of sugar in your blood starts to damage and essentially impede the function of some of your blood vessels, right? The smaller vessels get kind of torn up and they become scarred over and they don't perfuse as well, right? Some of the bigger vessels can develop plaques on them that can cause issues, right? So long term, it can cause damages to vascular. So let me do this. Two complications. So we'll say decreased circulation due to damage to the vascular system. Okay. Here's my... you can sometimes, what can happen is if you have lots of sugar in your blood and your kidneys are constantly trying to filter them. Remember we set up here that in polyuria, the way your body gets rid of sugar is to throw them through the kidneys, right? Well, you can have decreased kidney function because of that. Because over time, that high doses of sugar is going to start breaking down and damaging your kidneys. Because remember, like I said, your kidneys can filter sugar, it just doesn't like to. It doesn't like to. So if you do it too often, it's going to damage those glomerulus. Remember when we talked about the glomerulus, or the nephrons rather, and then the glomerulus and that giant ball of capillaries, right? It'll start to damage that. You'll get decreased kidney function, okay? It can also mess with nerves, so you get decreased sensation in certain areas. You often hear about people with diabetic neuropathy, right? Neuropathy is a loss of feeling or a loss of sensation. You typically see that down in the feet. A lot of people get diabetic neuropathy in their feet, sometimes in their fingertips as well. So you get decreased circulation over time, decreased kidney function over time, decreased sensation over time. It can slowly damage your heart. It can over time affect those little tiny coronary arteries that deliver blood to your heart, and it can damage those. It can affect your eyes. Think about your eyes for a second. You know how tiny and small the capillaries and blood flow that run to your eyes are? It can damage those, and also what it can do is it can actually start to get, some of the sugar can start to kind of seep into the lens of the eye, and it makes it cloudy, and you start to get cloudy vision. You can have impaired vision or decreased vision. Okay? You're at higher risk for infection. You're probably saying, well, why is a diabetic at a higher risk for infection? Why do you guys think a diabetic is at a high risk for infection? Why? Why does having extra sugar in your blood, how can that make you at higher risk for infection? Any ideas? High blood glucose is like taking sandpaper to your vessels and nerves. That is a really good way. Barrow, thank you. That is awesome. I never thought about it. That's a good way of saying it. Yes, it's like taking sandpaper to it. More treats for bacteria to feast on. Yes, there's another reason. There's another reason, but that is a big one. Bacteria love sugar, and it can use glucose. Wounds are harder to close. Yes! Kurgels, yes! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my god, you guys are so freaking smart. You have decreased healing. Wounds take longer to heal. Dude, level 1, the level 99 Charmander coming with the tier 1 sub for 1 freaking month. Guys, we have a new enrollee to Collie Care. Charmander, you're covered under Collie Care. From the Charmander to the Flame Tail, I'm going to throw you in a Pokeball because you're covered.
Woohoo!
Thanks for the new sub, guys. Spam the flops. We got spam your emotes. Spam them. Tripe, hey, you love the new rig? Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay, so not only does it take longer for them to heal, they also have created an environment that bacteria love. Bacteria love glucose. Did I miss the talk on type 1? Fox Guy, you did, but I'll recap it in a little bit. Don't worry. I'll recap it. So, long-term complications, diabetics, you get decreased circulation, decreased sensation. So, damaging your blood vessels, damaging your nerve endings, right? Damaging your kidneys over long-term filtering of glucose out of your blood. Damage to your heart due to the excess of glucose in the little coronary arteries that supply your heart. Decrease in vision or vision complications because you're damaging the vessels and everything delivering blood to the vision or to your eyes, as well as possibly clouding up the lens with an excess of glucose buildup in there as well. And you're at a higher risk for infection due to the fact that your wounds take longer to heal due to the damage to circulation. Remember, if you have damage to circulation, you cannot heal because you cannot get that healing property and the healing agents to the wound. So you get longer time to heal with a blood system or a circulation system or circulatory system that's full of sugar that bacteria just love. You're higher risk for infection. DJ Nightfire, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. What we see a lot of with this, let's kind of throw this all together, right? You have a patient who's a lifetime not very well controlled diabetic, right? They have no feeling in their feet. They just can't feel their feet, right? No matter what you do to their feet, it's just numb, right? You know that pins and needles falling asleep on your foot or falling asleep on your arm feeling? That's just constant for them in their feet, right? That's all they feel. You could stab them with stuff and they wouldn't even know. It just feels the same because they have no sensation down there. So what happens one night, you say your patient gets up in the middle of the night to go pee because they're diabetic and they don't have well-controlled blood sugar, so their body tries to compensate by peeing it out. And on the way to the restroom, they stub their toe. Maybe they don't even notice. They don't even realize that they just stubbed their toe, right? Don't even realize it. Or maybe they do, but they don't think anything of it and it's dark, so they can't look at it, right? Take it, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. So your patient goes to the bathroom, goes back to sleep, thinking nothing of it. They wake up in the morning, they don't look at their feet. They're wearing socks all day, right? Over the next couple days, that small little break in their skin starts to develop into an ulcer because you don't have circulation to the area, right? You don't have any circulation down there, so that break in the skin starts to worsen because you can't heal it, but then infection gets in there too, so you start to develop an ulcer. The patient doesn't know. Patient can't feel anything. Doesn't feel anything down there. Wears shoes all the time. Wears socks. Never looks at his feet. Doesn't inspect his feet regularly. You let that stew for a couple months. Next thing you know, the patient comes into the emergency department with a foot that's half necrotic and gangrenous, all because they stubbed their toe 3 months ago and they never knew it. Do you have any idea how common that situations like that happen? They happen all the time, people. I'm telling you, all the time. People get these nasty, horrible diabetic ulcers on their feet, and they had no idea. And they weren't properly trained on how to look at their feet, look for signs of skin breakdown, what to do when that happens. This happens all the time, I'm telling you. All the time. You hear stories of people with diabetes running a hot bath, right? They turn on the bathtub for themselves. And they don't realize that they're scalding their feet when they go to put their feet in there. So they put their feet in to test it. Well, they got no sensation, and they just scalded their foot. And then it starts to burn. And they don't know. Develop like second, third degree burns on the feet that slowly kills the foot over time. Out of the way, music. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. It happens. It happens. Why do you think you hear about stories about people getting their feet amputated with diabetes? Why is that such a common trope that diabetic people get their feet amputated? Because they get it some kind of infection or some kind of ulcer that goes unnoticed because they can't feel it, becomes horribly infected, the wound and the site becomes gangrenous, the toe and the foot start to die, and in order to prevent the infection from going septic, you have to amputate the foot. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. Diabetes is a slow burn. If you're a type 1 diabetic, with the exception of type 1 diabetics, because type 1 diabetics can crash and burn on you in a hot damn second. They absolutely will just crash and burn on you because they don't have any they don't have any insulin. That can just crash and burn. But your type 2 diabetics, which remember, type 2 diabetics make up 90% of the diabetics. 90% of people with diabetes have type 2 diabetes. And a lot of them don't even know it. Or they know it, but they don't have any current complications because of it. Because you can't tell slowly over time. You can't tell that your circulation's being damaged until one day you wake up and it's just no longer there. You don't even realize it, right? You don't even know. You can't tell that your sensation's being deafened or weakened or deadened over time until one day it's just gone. You know how quickly your vision goes? It goes quick. And you won't know until it's too late. And once these damages have taken... Wait, hold on. Loam, what'd you ask? I'm confused. Why would you... I'll figure... Loam, I'll get an... I don't know the answer to that one. I'll figure it out. But over time, by the time you realize, holy crap, I can't... holy crap, I stubbed my toe and I didn't even feel it. Right? Well, guess what? It's too late. We can't fix this. We can't fix this. We can't fix this. We can kind of fix this, but not really. We can fix this with dialysis. Because that's your option, is dialysis. We can't fix this. Once the damage is done, you are shit out of luck. I'm sorry. You are just SOL. And there's not a damn thing we can do about it. We can try to prevent it from getting worse, but once you lose sensation in your foot, it's gone. That's it. There's no do-overs. There's no getting those nerves back. It's gone. And you just have to live with it. Do you understand why diabetes is so serious? It is not going to kill you right away unless you get extremely lucky and end up in DKA or in some kind of severe hyperosmolar or hyperglycemic state. If you're type 1 diabetic, it will straight up just kill you because you just don't have a choice. You'll go into DKA, you'll become too acidotic, and you'll die. But type 2 diabetics, they will live for years uncontrolled until eventually it comes back to bite them. And they end up on dialysis and they die because they stubbed their toe and didn't feel it and developed a septic infection and their kidneys, and they just couldn't keep up. If it sounds scary, it should be. Because people don't realize how scary this is. If it sounds scary, it should be. How do we test for diabetes? How do we test for it? We check your blood sugar. We have a couple tests we can do. Let me do this. Hold on. Something like that. Ah, it's fine. I'll make a table. Could same happen for type 2 with drinking problem? Well, if you, especially like beer. If you think about beer, for example, beer is basically all carbs. FYI. When you get on dialysis, is that a rest of your life solution or temporary solution? For the majority of people, Moose, it's a rest of their life solution unless they can get a kidney transplant. If you cannot get... Now, let me rephrase that. You can be put on hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis as a precaution. If your kidneys are starting to show that they are very close to failing, they can put you on dialysis to rest your kidneys. But that doesn't happen. Sometimes it happens, right? But generally speaking, if you go on hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis, if you have reached the point of kidney failure, what we call like chronic kidney disease, right? To the point where you need to be on dialysis. You're pretty much on that until you get a kidney transplant. That's it. Once you've damaged those nephrons, you don't grow new nephrons. You don't. Glucose tolerance test? Yes, Yama, we'll talk about that. I had a friend who was type 2 and had drinking problems, was ER a lot. Yeah, Mastermind, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with drinking a lot. 2 questions, I'm ready. Have you ever done blood test and found someone in diabetic that didn't even know? Yeah, oh yeah, we do it all the time. We diagnose people with diabetes regularly in the emergency department, mostly kids and people under 30. Because your type 1s, I mean, we've diagnosed type 2s as well, but generally it's going to be type 1. Can one get their insulin tolerance to return to normal if they fix their diet, effectively not being diabetic anymore? Yes, you can. From time, so you can reverse type 2 diabetes. You can manage it and treat it. You can also take medications that increase your sensitivity to insulin. The medications like metformin, which is a very common one, right? Metformin will help increase your cell's sensitivity to insulin, and that can work well, but you use that in conjunction with diet and exercise. Can the effects of COPD be reversed? I don't know. Probably not. It can be managed, but rather most damage cannot be reversed, but it can be managed and prevented, made worse. You violated the law. Pay a court fine and serve your sentence. You stolen goods are now forfeit. What? I stole nothing. I am innocent. I stole nothing. I stole nothing of Loam's wares. I did not take Loam's wares. If you want to be mad at someone, be mad at Loam. He's a Khajiit. He's the one with the wares. What's a pacemaker? A pacemaker shocks your heart for you to keep you on rhythm. A little thing we put in your chest that we hook up to your heart. Deliver shocks of energy to it. Cause your heart to beat. You're on metformin? A lot of people are. I appreciate your knowledge and equally being blunt about these matters. Well, somebody's got to. I tell patients all the time that they're killing themselves. They are. You're no longer on metformin because of GI issues? Yeah, it has. I mean, remember, every drug has side effects, so you got to weigh the benefits, right? Okay, so there's a couple ways we could test. We could test fasting blood glucose. Who's ever had their blood sugar checked, by the way? Who's ever gotten their finger poked? I stole your heart? Ah, it's mine now. I imagine just about every one of you guys have gotten your finger pricked before. So a fasting glucose check. So it's when we check your blood sugar. So that, by the way, would ER do that? Do what? Check your blood sugar? Or check, wait, what are you talking about? Do what? If you've ever gotten your finger stick, what you usually do is you take a small needle and you prick a finger, right? I'm gonna tell you guys a quick trick, real quick. And Boreal, this will go towards you, or Barry. Is it Barrio or Boreal? I think Barrio, right? Barrio. When you check your blood sugar, if you have to check your blood sugar and you need to stick your finger, do not stick the pad of the finger. Stick the side of your finger, like the meat side of your finger, the meaty part, because Barrow. The side of your finger has less nerve endings than the pad of your finger. I see people do this all the time. I see my colleagues do this to patients, and it infuriates me. You do not stick the pad of the finger with the needle. Do not. That hurts like hell. You stick the side of the finger. The side. Don't go too close to the nail, because that'll hurt too. Right in the meaty part of the side of the finger. Please, do not stick the pad of your finger. Also, wipe away the first drop. Yes, you always wipe away the first drop. So, you stick someone's finger, you wipe away the first drop, you squeeze out the second drop, you hit it with your glucometer, and you get a blood sugar. Okay? Fasting blood glucose. No eating or drinking, other than water, for 8 hours. And then we check your blood sugar. Here's my mouse. 100 to 120 milligrams per deciliter is considered pre-diabetes. So you're not diabetic yet, but you're on your way. This is when people can make the biggest changes in their diet to affect their course of their prognosis, right? When you're in that pre-diabetic stage, that's when you need to take all of the precautions possible to prevent yourself from shifting into diabetes. Anything over 126 equals diabetes. That's for fasting blood glucose. You can drink water, a little bit of water, as long as there's no like soda or sugar in it, right? It's just got to be water. We can do a random glucose test, which is just exactly that. It's just random. This is what we generally do in the emergency department. When patients come in, we just check a blood sugar, right? No prep beforehand. You just check a blood sugar. What is the range on this? Anything over 200 from a random blood sugar check is diabetes. You are diabetic. All they have done is stuck the pad on my finger. Dragon's Bane, tell them to stick the side or offer up your side when they do it. Do they do this at the ER when they draw blood from your IV? I can check. I will use, when I draw blood from the IV, I will use that to check a blood sugar if I need to. If I'm not actively getting blood from the IV, sometimes I'll just prick their finger. It doesn't hurt that bad. They'll be fine. It's quicker to do it that way than to have to draw blood. Because when you draw blood off an IV, you have to waste a certain amount of it because it can be contaminated. And then you have to draw up your sample. And then you have to flush it. And it's just a pain in the butt. Just give me your finger. I'll stick it with a needle and we'll be fine. Why do you wipe away the first drop of blood? Because the alcohol can contaminate it and give you a false reading. An oral tolerance test. We give you glucose. You sit down, you go to the doctor's office, whatever, and they make... Wait, I'm so glad they can get an A1C from a finger prick now. Can they really? Ooh, I didn't know that. We'll talk about A1C here next. Oral tolerance test, we give you oral glucose, so we give you a sugary substance to eat, and then they check your blood sugar at intervals, the most important one being the 2-hour mark. And depending on where your blood sugar is at, they can use that to determine where you're at with diabetes. So 140 to 199 is pre-diabetic. Greater than 200 is diabetes. Greater than or equal to 200, by the way. Do a finger stick on the ring finger instead of the index tip I got from the provider. Yeah, I do. I usually do ring finger or middle finger. I love telling my old ladies when I have to check their blood sugar. I'll be like, okay, Miss Johnson, do me a favor. Pick a finger for me to stick, and it's okay. You could just flip me off. Give me your middle finger. Just flip me off. And I like it when my little 90-year-old ladies flip me the bird. I think it's funny. little old Miss Johnson sitting there throwing a middle finger at me so I can get a blood sugar from it. I love it. Does anybody know what a hemoglobin A1C is? What is hemoglobin A1C? We're going to talk about this because this is important. One of the best ways to measure how someone's doing with their diabetes. I always feel lighter when I get blood drawn. Oh, I feel lighter joke when I get blood drawn. You know what? I'll take the I feel lighter joke better than the, are you going to leave me any blood? Are you just going to take it all? Ha ha ha. Well, yeah, I'm going to drain you of blood. I'm going to bloodlet you till you die. That was my goal. I get that one all the time. I've gotten to the point now when I draw blood from somebody and they start being like, oh, how much blood are you taking? Are you going to take all that blood? Or, are you going to leave me with any blood? I always tell them, oh, don't worry. I'll leave you with just enough. I know what I'm doing. I've only screwed up once or twice. It's fine. I'll leave you with just enough blood. You'll be good. I'm like, of course, I know what I'm doing. It looks like a lot of blood, but it's not. Long-term blood sugar, yes. So, hemoglobin A1C. So, do you guys know what red blood cell looks like? Do you guys know what a red blood cell is? Oops. You got your red blood cell here, right? How do I want to fill this. Let me fill this. There, and then we can do like this. You got your little red blood cell here, right? So on red blood cells, you have something known as hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is what oxygen binds to, okay? Well, sometimes glucose will bind to it as well. You'll get glucose binded to these red blood cells, right? If you have high levels of glucose in your blood, you're going to have more glucose, a higher percentage of glucose that is binding to your red blood cells. That is what we check with a hemoglobin A1C. We are checking to see the percentage of blood cells, the percentage of red blood cells that have hemoglobin binded or have glucose binded to them. And this comes out as a percentage. Percentage is that if you are at 5.7 to, what did I write down? 6.4%, you're pre-diabetic. If you get above 6.5%, you are diabetic. I have seen people with A1Cs in like the 14, 15 range. That is ridiculously high. That is really, really high uncontrolled diabetes. But here's the thing that's great about a hemoglobin A1C. Whereas all of these will tell you how things are managing right now, a hemoglobin A1C will give you a rough estimate of how their blood sugar's been for the last 2 to 3 months. You get a patient who comes in, oh yeah, I've been managing my diabetes, I've been eating well, I've been doing all this, I'm doing what you're telling me. Okay, well let's check your A1C. And their A1C went from 6.8% to 8.2%. A doctor can be like, so hey, your hemoglobin A1C went up, so either you're not doing something right or you're not being truthful with me, because hemoglobin A1C tells you over 2 to 3 months, and it does not lie. The lab values do not lie. So if you're uncompliant with your diabetes and your A1C goes up, and you tell your doctor that you're compliant, they're gonna call bullshit on you. You can get a hemoglobin A1C test at home now too. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad. That's it. That's my lecture on diabetes. You have no more fear of needles? Yeah, good. Don't be afraid. They're just sharp and pointy, but they just want to be your friend. So let's recap real quick for anybody who missed out on the start of the stream, or we just want to tie it all together here. Follow along, okay? So diabetes. The best way to describe diabetes is to say that you have a lot of glucose in your blood. You have high amounts of glucose in your blood, hyperglycemia, high amounts of sugar in your blood. Diabetes affects about 10% of the world's population, with about 90% of those people being type 2 diabetics and 10% of those people being type 1 diabetics. Normally when you eat, your food enters into your stomach and you start to digest it, and you break down the food into glucose. The glucose then transfers into your blood, which causes your blood sugar levels to rise. Your body senses this, tells the pancreas to release insulin. The insulin floats around in the blood with your sugar and opens up the cells so glucose can enter in and the cells can get the energy they need. That is how it works. Type 1 diabetics do not make insulin, or they make very little insulin. This is due to an autoimmune response where their T cells, they're part of their immune system, their T cells, attack the beta cells, which are in the islets of Langerhans within the pancreas that secrete insulin. The T cells attack these beta cells and over time kill them off to the point where you no longer make insulin. This sometimes can happen a lot of these patients will be diagnosed very young in age, but it depends on how long this process takes to run its course. What'll happen with these patients is if you don't have insulin, your blood sugar continues to rise and rise and rise. Some of the things that you'll notice when you have high blood sugar or hyperglycemia. Patient will always be hungry, they'll always be peeing, and they'll always be thirsty. Your body tries to compensate for the high levels of blood sugar by urinating out excess sugar. Which sugar goes water? Water follows sugar. So if you pull out more sugar, you're going to pull out more water, which means you're going to be peeing a lot, right? That excess peeing is going to lead to dehydration, which is going to lead to excess thirst, polyuria, polydipsia. That high amount of sugar in the blood is also going to lead to, high amount of sugar in the urine is going to lead to glycosuria, which is high amounts of sugar in your urine. We can test for that. Sometimes this will also cause a sweet smelling urine. Well, because your cells aren't getting the energy they need because you don't have the insulin to shift the glucose into the cell, your cells are sending out all these signals like, "Holy crap, we're hungry, we're starving, we need food." You start to eat more because you're always hungry because your cells are starving. Sir Alone, Alexander the Wolf, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Welcome in. So your primary symptoms that you're going to see your type 1 diabetics, your newly diagnosed diabetics present with: polyuria, polyphagia, polydipsia, and glucoseuria as well, but less concerning. If left untreated, you will eventually fall into what we call into diabetic ketoacidosis. Which, hold on, I'll touch on that in a sec. I don't know if you would know this, but my bro cracked his neck. Is that bad? Nah, not really. Like cracking your knuckles, like that. It's not bad. Diabetic ketoacidosis. So, as your cells begin to starve from lack of glucose, because you have no insulin to shift the glucose into the cell, your body starts resorting to alternative forms of energy, one of those being fat. When you break down fat gets broken down into fatty acids, which the liver then converts into ketones, which your body can use for energy. But if you have a lot of these ketones in your body, which you would have if you're using fat as your primary source of energy, high amounts of ketones lead to acidosis, which is a lowering of your blood pH, which makes your blood more acidic. As your blood becomes more acidic, it starts to disrupt a lot of bodily functions and metabolism, right? And a lot of metabolic functions. Our body has very sensitive range for the pH from 7.35 to 7.45. Any dips below or above those numbers start to cause breakdown in systems. So a patient with DKA, you're going to notice an increased work of respirations, what we call Kussmaul's respirations, or deep labored breathing, to try to breathe off extra CO2 to lower or to increase the pH, to make the blood more alkalotic as your body's way of compensating. You're also going to see a high anion gap, which is a measure of the uncounted or uncounted negative anions, which are negative ions. A high anion gap means acidosis. You'll also see nausea, vomiting, sometimes altered mental status, and even sometimes people going into comas or brain swelling because of that. Once again, acidosis is not good. You should not have acidic blood. How do we treat DKA? We give you insulin, we give you fluids and electrolytes. Okay? Type 2 diabetics, instead of not producing any insulin, they've developed a resistance to insulin. So they still make insulin, but their cells are not as receptive to it. This makes up about 90% of diabetes cases. This is going to be due to a high sugary diet, obesity, hypertension, genetics, lack of exercise, poor lifestyle, just not keeping healthy, right? Although obesity, as I like to point out, not everybody who's obese is a type 2 diabetic, and not every type 2 diabetic is obese, but it does increase your risk for developing it. Diet, definitely, high sugary diet, right? As you increase, so for example, with a sugary diet, more sugar in your diet means more sugar in your blood, which means more insulin is released, which means your cells are exposed to more insulin, which means they develop resistance to insulin. Type 2 diabetics don't normally go into DKA, but they can go into what we call HHS, which is hyperosmolar hyperglycemic state. As you have higher amounts of sugar in your blood, it becomes more concentrated. Water likes to follow sugar and then shifts out of the cells and into the blood, which causes a whole body dehydration in a sense. Some of the complications that can occur from long-term uncontrolled diabetes. You get decrease in circulation due to the damage that it causes on the blood vessels. You get decreased sensation due to the damage it causes on the nerve endings. You can have a lack of vision or a loss of vision or cloudy vision due to the damage it can cause in the eyes, such as damaging the blood flow to the eyes or actually getting into the lens of the eye itself and causing a cloudy film to appear, right? It can cause a decrease in kidney function as your kidneys try to keep up with that massive influx of sugar. It slowly damages over time to the point where eventually your kidneys will fail. It'll damage your heart. Same way as it damages the circulation in your body, it damages the circulation to your heart, which affects the coronary arteries, making you at higher risk for heart damage and heart attacks. It can also increase your risk for infection because of the fact that it takes longer for wounds to heal due to the lack of circulation, and bacteria love sugar. So if you have a lot of sugar in your blood, bacteria is going to find it. Some of the ways that we test for diabetes, we can do a fasting blood glucose, which will test your blood sugar after 8 hours of fasting. We can do a random blood glucose check, which is when we just check your blood sugar whenever and see where you're at. We can do an oral tolerance test where we give you sugar and check your blood sugar after certain intervals. Or we can check a hemoglobin A1C to see how much sugar is tied or bound or binded to red blood cells to give us an idea of how your blood sugar's been over the last 2 to 3 months. That's it. What are the effects of diabetes on people who have COVID? Not good. Think about this. COVID-19 has been known to cause like a vasculitis, like an inflammation of the vascular system, right? Almost like a Kawasaki's disease, they've seen it. Where you have this just massive inflammatory response, sometimes within the veins, right? Or within the vascular system. If you have a diabetic patient who's already got a compromised vascular system and you increase the amount of inflammation within the vascular system, shit's gonna go bad. We're seeing a higher mortality rates, more multi-organ dysfunction, more hypercoagulability. Funny enough, overall they're generally sicker. Yeah, COVID is bad. Any questions? Did you guys enjoy this? Did this make sense? This is my third lecture, the third time we've lectured about diabetes. If you haven't been here for my last 2 lectures, I hope you learned something new, or I hope you learned something. If you've been here for my last 2 lectures, I hope you learned something new. Oh, you don't want to finish your beer now? Just make sure you're in tune with your body. Go see your doctor regularly to express your concerns. How does diabetes lead to a loss of foot? Decreased sensation and decreased circulation in the foot. If you have decreased sensation in the foot, you can develop wounds on the foot that you would normally feel, but that you don't. And then you have decreased circulation of the foot, which means that your wounds don't heal properly, which means it's at a higher risk of developing infection. Once you develop an infection and you get an infected ulcer, eventually it'll turn gangrenous over over a period of time. And if you have no sensation down there, you're not going to feel any of it. The next thing you know, your foot's necrotic, and we got to cut it off to prevent the infection from spreading. That's the long and short of it. With someone who is diabetic, I learned a lot more than I did. Oh, that makes me happy. Thank you. That actually, right there, that is why I do what I do. That is why I became a diabetic champion, to try to help people who have diabetes understand the progression of the disease and how it's manageable and how you can live with it and still live a healthy life. But I'm gonna be honest, it's not easy. Patients who are diabetic, it is not easy. It is a lifestyle change. I do not use that word lightly. It is a lifestyle change. They need to change how they live to manage their diabetes. They need to watch what they eat. They need to make sure they have insulin with them or their medications with them at all times. These are all things that they need to do. And we didn't even talk about what happens when their blood sugar drops too low. If you misdose your insulin, or you don't eat, certain patients who take insulin and they don't eat, when your blood sugar drops too low, that'll kill you real quick. Low blood sugar will kill you real damn quick. And you're going to feel like crap the entire time, too. Thankfully, my A1C is under 6, so while I'm still in the Rona high-risk group, I probably won't die because of it. That's good to know. Also, congratulations on getting your A1C under 6. Barrow, what was it to start, if you don't mind me asking? Curious. What was it to start? You don't have to tell me. I'm just curious. Is you diabetic? I am not a diabetic, but I took on extra courses to learn about this stuff. And I was kind of like a pseudo-diabetic educator. I wasn't like the true diabetic educator, but I kind of was the diabetic educator for the floor that I worked on. I love your class. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I had to call paramedics for my grandma. I forgot the measurement unit, but was down in the low 40s for blood sugar. Yeah, 40s. Most people, when you get below 60, if your blood sugar drops below 60, you start to get lightheaded and you feel like crap. We talk about low end next lecture. I mean, I can talk about it now. I'm not gonna pull the lecture or the whiteboard back up, but the best way to think about what happens when your blood sugar gets low is imagine someone who's drunk. Imagine the symptoms of being drunk. Blurred speech, right? Lightheadedness, dizziness, unable to coordinate. They're kind of fumbling over themselves, right? Lightheadedness, dizziness, altered mental status, right? They don't act themselves. They're not acting themselves. They just are not moving right, right? It's very, once you see a patient with low blood sugar, you don't really forget it, because it's like they're drunk. It's like they're drunk. They are altered. They can't talk. They can't really move that well. They're super lethargic and fatigued. Sometimes they'll even be like diaphoretic and sweaty. I have, let me see, what's the lowest blood sugar I've seen? So the lowest blood sugar I've ever recorded on a patient who was still awake and still talking was 23. 23 milligrams per deciliter. That is extremely low. 6.5 when I went it, but it's been as high as 8.5. Arrow, that's impressive. You went from 8.5 to 6. That's impressive. You're doing a lot of good work. Keep it up. Can this happen to regular people who don't eat too much? Yeah. If you don't eat for long enough, your blood sugar is going to drop. But typically, you'll feel hungry. And then you'll eat again. But if you ignore that hunger, eventually you'll start to get the symptoms, right? You'll get a little lethargic. You get a little sleepy. Kind of feel a little bit lightheaded and woozy. It's happened to me. Probably happened to you. You feel like crap for a little bit, then you eat and you feel better. Your blood sugar dropped. Under 40, you start not functioning. Under 20, you go into a coma. Yeah, it can get pretty low. Like I said, like type 1 diabetics in particular, type 1 diabetics, I've had patients who are like long-term type 1 diabetics, and they'll tell you when their blood sugar's low. They'll say, hey, I think my blood sugar's good and low. I think I'm in like the 50s or 60s, and they'll be spot on with it because they know it happens to them so often. They know. They're like, yeah, I think my blood sugar's low. You need to check it. I walked to a hospital 20 minutes away from my house to get an IV for 4 hours in the hospital after finding out I was in second-degree burn on my arm, jabbing aches, and then come home after 4 hours. Then I had a Charlie horse in both legs. Then to another hospital, found nothing. Still a medical mystery to this day. Okay, here's my, maybe if you get too much fluid, right? If you become oversaturated and like hypervolemic, right? You have too much fluid. You have lower amounts of potassium in your blood, which means your cells get less potassium, which means less potassium means cramping. Maybe. I don't know. They could also be completely unrelated, by the way. They could also just be completely unrelated. Do we get a hype train for Cinder? Thanks for doing these. Just you don't have to do a hype train. Just learn, educate yourself, and if you can, educate others. But also utilize this information to what I want is for when you guys come to my lectures and you watch my lectures and you learn. What I want is for you guys to be able to make a more informed decision about your health and about your medicine or medical decisions and about how you're going to manage yourself than you would have before. Does that make sense? I'm not here to try to give you guys all the information you need to know. I'm not here to teach for really any other reason other than to educate you guys on how to make informed decisions about your health. And with the knowledge that I give you, you are allowed to make those decisions yourself. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I will never tell you what to do. It's not my right to tell someone what to do, just like I wouldn't want someone to tell me what to do. I will tell you what will happen if you do what I tell you to do or if you don't do what I tell you to do. You will be able to make the informed decision. That is the key word right there. Informed decision. You made the choice based on the information you've been given, and that is entirely on you. So if you sat through this lecture and you said, screw that, I'm not worried about diabetes, I'm going to go drink soda every day and have a horrible diet and not exercise, and in 40 years you have diabetes, you have made that informed decision because now you have the knowledge. Now you know what can happen. Now you know how to, what it is and how it happens and how things progress. You know that information. So you can make an informed decision on how you want to manage your health based on that. I cannot dictate that decision for you. That is entirely yourself. Now, I might tell you that if you had all this knowledge and you still continued and you decided to disregard the knowledge and make your own decisions based off of what you think's best for yourself and things don't work out for you, I can't help you. Dude, Jake coming in with a tier 2 sub for 3 freaking months. Dude, enjoy the tier 2. Jake, you're covered under collie care from the Alaris pump beeps to your lines are all tangled. I got you covered in the ICU, you crazy son of a bitch. I don't know how you do it up there. I hang like 2 trips. I'll hang like a Cardizem drip and like something else. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I've done my drips for the day. You guys have like a bajillion drips and they're all tangled up. So loud. I know. I need to turn it down. I'll turn it down. It'll happen. I appreciate the sub. Thank you. Also, the Kathura, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Kurizoki, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in, guys. Hey, real quick, I need to take a quick bio break. And I need to get more water. And I need to grab a little snack because I think my blood sugar's a little low. I've recently cut soda pop out of my life. How bad is pop for you? It's horrible. If you guys want to do one thing right now that'll improve your health drastically, don't drink soda. Don't drink juice. Don't drink anything with sugar in it. Just drink water and coffee and maybe unsweetened tea. Limit your caloric intake via drink. Stop drinking soda. Stop drinking juice. You guys know what juice is? You know, like orange juice, cranberry juice? You know what that is? Just uncarbonated soda. It's the same damn thing. It's just as bad for you as soda. It's just not carbonated. So people make it make it out to be sweet or to be healthy. It's not healthy. Jamin Glider, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. You've been drinking orange juice for like every day? Stop. It's so much sugar. I'm telling you, it's so much sugar. It's so much sugar. You clicked for the first owner, not disappointed? Well, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Don't drink juice? How would I drink juice sips? Don't drink the juice. Okay, first of all, why would you want to drink juice sips? He's a hyena. He's probably stinky. But also, don't drink the juice sips. He just got partnered. Don't drink him. All right, real quick. Bio break, quick snack, and then Talos Principle. We'll play more Talos Principle. Guys, I'll be right back. Hey, will you guys watch the flock for me? Watch the sheep. Don't let them go anywhere, okay? Do not let them go anywhere. If I come back and there are any sheep missing, I'm blaming Rob Collie. He's in charge. He's in charge. Sheep better be here, so help me God. Ugh. If the sheep are moving out of view, well, then go find them. I tasked you guys with watching the sheep, and now they're gone. Rob Map, I trusted you. I entrusted you with the flock. Now they're gone. You guys want some more granola bar ASMR? While I snack on this granola bar real quick. Which is probably more sugar than I should be eating, but it's tasty. Tell me one thing you guys learned today while I'm eating this. What's one thing you learned from the lecture today that you didn't know before coming in? I'm curious. Everything. Axel! Oh, I got a mouthful of food. Let me rinse it down. Axel Huff coming in with the tier 1 sub for 7 freaking months! Dude, Axel, you're coming under collie care from the Axel to the Huff. I got you covered. Never mind, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock. Welcome in. I went back to basic chemistry for an acid-based crash course. Dude, even I'm bad at chemistry. I'm so bad at chemistry, especially I'm just not good at it. I know enough that I know what I need to know, and even that's not that much. I saw Biscuit let a few sheep out. Yeah, okay. So first of all, Biscuit didn't let any sheep out because he is a sheep, kind of. He's a ram, but he's also he has nothing to do with sheep. Don't try to blame this on Biscuit. He's not here. You tried my best. It's okay. It takes a lot of you're a new collie. You'll get it. You'll get it, Rob. Don't worry. I learned that type 2 diabetes has osmosis problems that can turn into emergency. Good. I'm glad you guys learned. I still don't know how to make milligrams to mLs and make it micrograms. What are you talking about? For like milligrams to micrograms, yes. Milligrams to mLs, it doesn't really work like that. It's usually milligrams per mLs, if that's what you're asking. But you don't go from milligrams to milliliters to micrograms. You go from milligrams to micrograms. And then, so like, okay, for example, say you have 1 milligram per milliliter. That would equal 1,000 micrograms, I think. Or is it 100? Hold on. I always forget if it's 1,000 or 100. It's 1,000, yeah, that's right. That'd be 1,000 micrograms per milliliter, right? So like, if you have like a dosage, it's like, okay, you have 1 milligram per ml solution. You need to give, we'll say, like you need to give so many micrograms. So we'll say like you need to give 750 micrograms of medication. How much would you give? It would be like what? 0.75 mLs? Is that what you're talking about? Like something like that? MedMath sucks. Although most of it, like, they tried to teach me a way of doing MedMath that didn't make sense to me. So I just ended up doing it my way, and it made it work. But they really push on MedMath, and honestly, you don't do it as often as you might think. Dimensional analysis, is that what it is? Is that what dimensional analysis is? Is that when you, like, draw, like, the squares or, like, the box? Yes, that is how you... Oh, I hated this, dude. I hated dimensional analysis. I hated it. I don't do MedMath that way. I don't do MedMath that way. 100% nope. I do it my own way now. Axel Huff, god damn it! Alright, fine. You ready? Are you happy? Teach you what? How to do med math? I've tried to teach people how I do it in my head, and Stick with what they hit you. Occult Sphinx coming with the tier 1 sub for 1 freaking month, dude. Guys, we got a new subscriber to Collie Care. Occult Sphinx, oh god. Unbelievable, Doug. Unbelievable, Ace Rail. Hold on, I'll get to you in a second. Hold on. Occult Sphinx coming to tier 1 sub for 1 freaking month, guys. Welcome, Occult Sphinx, to Collie Care. Occult Sphinx, you're coming on to Collie Care from the flops to the beans. I got you covered. Ace Rail coming with the 500 bits. Unbelievable, Ace Rail. You want to give 500,000 milligrams of morphine? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know about a quack that was trying to inject rice in the body somehow to treat diabetes. I'm sure that went well. I'm sure that went well. Israel, thanks for the 500 bits, and thanks for me for disappointing Doug. Or making me disappointed in Doug. Unbelievable, Doug. Unbelievable. Now I get the fabled collie stare? Wow! Unbelievable, Loam. Unbelievable,
1,000 grams of morphine.
500,000 milligrams of morphine from Loam. Tried to kill him. Unbelievable, Loam. Thanks for the bits. I appreciate it. Carmen, thanks for the follow. Welcome, Bobby Flock. Welcome in. Nene Parfait. Oh, that's kind of, I like that. Nene Parfait, thanks for the follow. Welcome, Bobby Flock. Welcome in. Loam, who taught you how to write prescriptions? Who taught you how to write medication prescriptions? 500,000 milligrams? Are you serious? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Are you guys ready for more Talos Principle? So that last puzzle that we were playing, you guys remember that one puzzle that I was struggling with? I literally was like, I was sitting in the shower the other day, or I was taking a shower the other day, and I was like trying to figure out that damn puzzle in my head without opening the game back up. And I think I might have figured out what I need to do. But we'll find out when once we get back in the game. Also, guys, what do you think? I got my chair. Look, it's my real life chair. I'm sitting in this chair, although it's the Omega, not the Titan, but it's my chair. What do you think? You like it? Do you guys like the chair? Yes? No? I could get rid of it. Boop. Boop. Although I think I need to move it just a bit. You guys like the chair? Chair is good? Okay. It's comfy. Biko, can you change the game for me? Okay, so we need to go back in here and finish these. Bye, Captain Grumpy, take care. Okay, so this was the puzzle, I think. No, this one. Yeah, this stupid puzzle. Hater Gaming, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock. Welcome in. Oh, Beta, you can do it too. Either one of you, it's fine. Either one of you. Either one's a yes. Thank you, Beta Pup. I think I'm gonna keep these here. No.
Everybody do the flop. Everybody do the flop. Everybody do the flop.
Dude, Captain Snuggly Cactus coming with the 5 gifted subs, Snugs. Dude, I was so happy to see you in VR the other night. Holy crap. Guys, hold on. What the hell? Hold on.
Because I feel like it.
Alright, hold on. I want to wait for the flop. Where is it? Come on. Tux is dancing.
Everybody do the flop. Everybody do the flop. Everybody do the flop.
Okay, let me address these. Kevin Sub and Cactus coming with the tier 1 sub, or the 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the community. Holy freaking crap, Snugs! Thank you! The Adventures of Barrow, Saver, Feral the Wolf, Arbitrary Mutt, O'Brien, you guys are all coming under collie care. Thanks to Captain Snuggly Cactus. Don't touch his Snugs. It's a trick. He's a cactus, but he's snuggly. He's gonna prick you. Captain Snuggly Cactus, I appreciate your support. Seriously, I do. You've been here for so freaking long, and you've done
Flops
so
are
much for the
fun.
channel. I don't even know what to say. Jeez. Ozith coming with the 15 bits, making Tux dance. Look at that werewolf go. And then Axel Wolf coming with the gifted 5 subs, the 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the community. Holy freaking crap! God damn it! Alright, I'm gonna get to that. We get to that. Axel Wolf coming with the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Zay Farah, PC Ta, Lady Octopus, Chef the Dragon, Wolf Thunder. You guys are all coming. Thanks to Axel Wolf. What the hell, guys?
Everybody do the flop.
Give me a goddamn second! Oh my god! Zeke Fox coming with the 1 bit, making Tux dance. Axel Wolf coming with another gifted tier 1 sub. This time out to Lizzlefoss. Lizzlefoss. You're coming under collie care. Thanks to Axel Wolf from the Foster the Beans. I got you covered. Loam! You gave 500,000 milligrams of morphine. Now you're giving 5 gifted subs. You're out here trying to kill everybody. Lametheron coming with the 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the community. Holy freaking crap. Scar White Dream Flame or a JD Puppy. Lonesy Wolf. Muscle Foxboy. You guys are all coming under collie care. Thanks to Loam from the Floss of the Beans. I got you covered. God. What the hell, guys? Thank you. Your new model is super cute. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Dude, you guys are so nice. What the hell? Why?
Everybody do the flop.
Oh my god.
Everybody do the flop. Everybody do the flop.
Max Husky coming with the 5 gifted tier 1 subs to community. Holy freaking crap. Oh, Ozith, Fritz Buddy, Avoided Cat, Just the Husk, and Ice Slav Cat. You guys are all coming to collie care thanks to Max Husky. Max Husky. You guys are all coming to collie care thanks to Max Husky. From the Flops to the Beans, I got you covered. Max, thank you. Thank you. Dude, what the hell? Does collie care cover tails? No, it covers nothing. Hold on, I gotta beat this map. I really do. I gotta beat this map. Because I know what I need to do and I want to beat it. You guys are so freaking amazing. Thank you. Okay. This is where I was running into issues in my mind when I was doing this. Also, I am a herding dog, I am Corgi. You do the little ankle nips. You guys are already close to the ground, you just nip their ankles. So I need to bring this. I need to... Damn it. See, I need to bring that in there with me. But I also need to keep this open. Is there another... Dude, guys, level 500, what the hell? Thank you, holy crap, guys. Yo, Tundra, thanks for the follow, welcome to the Flobby Flock, welcome in. Adrian the Protogen, thanks for the follow, welcome to the Flobby Flock, welcome in. Guys, sorry, I kinda got tied up. Would it be ethical to only be a nurse to someone I truly care about? What do you mean? Like, you only ever care, you become a nurse and only ever care for one person? It's a tough question whether or not that'd be ethically or morally correct. Got an idea. Like, what's my tolerance? Like... So if I do that, I can't. Ah! This puzzle seems so easy. It's so deceptive. I hope you're all well. I hope you're well too, JJ. How even are you supposed to? How are you even supposed to do that one? That's what I want to know. How do you get this one? It doesn't work. So I know what I need to do. So I need to do like this, right? So this goes here, that goes there. There, there, there. And then I need to, this needs to be jammed like that, right? But now I need to turn on the blue. I need to turn on the blue thing, right? Which means that I need... See, then that closes that. So I need to be in there. I need to have this set up while also being able to get in there. But I don't know how I'm supposed to get that. Oh my god, when I tell you I've been thinking about this puzzle for like the last couple days since we played last, I'm not even joking. I've been thinking about how I can do this puzzle properly. And I feel like it's right in front of my face and I'm missing it. I was late for class. It's a shame because I'm a type 2 diabetic and it would have been fun to be here. Scar White, go back and watch the VOD. You can still learn. It's not late. It's not too late to learn yet. What am I missing? What do you guys think, chat? What am I missing here? So, what I need to do... Oh, when I just trapped myself. So, what I need to do... Eats all the cinder scotchies. Vextra, there was enough for everybody. You ate all those cookies. Holy crap. You're gonna have horrible poops. That's so much sugar. Get yourself, take care.
If the answer does not come to you, do not despair.
Shut up!
The worlds of my garden are many.
Damn it! I know what you're missing. I know what you're missing. You missing gentle boot. Metalwork. That doesn't help me. That doesn't help me with the freaking puzzle. I'm assuming that's the end. Yeah, that is. Alright, we're coming back to this. I thought maybe I would have it this time, but we're gonna come back to it. Do not despair, my son, if you cannot answer the puzzle. Just call me stupid! Disembodied voice. Is there a second laser refractor you can use? If there was, that'd be easy. But I didn't see one. I've checked the map over however many times now. Rainclaws, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Zorik, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Welcome in, guys. What's up? Fox Guy, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Is there anything for me to grab around here? Oh. I already kind of have an idea of what they want me to do for this. that there. Cinder's follow button is the sheep TF trigger. Yes, it turns you into a sheep and you become part of the floppy flock. It grows bigger every time. Yeah, it grows bigger. Ah, okay. That is what I thought. Okay, so you do have to double stack these. I'm gonna need that.
Woohoo! Shot
Shot
spot.
spot. That'll do it. Are you serious? Are you freaking serious? Ellie the Floof, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Dude, I totally thought that was gonna work. No, I just screwed it all. I just saw a disaster. The problem is I can't, I guess I can do this. Ever watched Shaun the Sheep? I've seen it. Have I seen it? I actually don't know if I've seen it or not. Did I miss anything? Was there anything else I didn't open around here? I got the cube up there. Got that cube. This game hasn't been, they haven't tried to deceive you at all. You know what, chat? I bet Cinder wishes he had thought of, hey, Grimo! Hold on, wrong expression, Grimo! Listen here, you little derp dog. Come talk to me when you actually have two flops. Basically just faking it as a flop dog. Also, Grimo, what's up? Hi, good to see you. Always so happy you're here. I don't believe that this didn't work, so I'm gonna try it again. Ah! There we go. Alright. I forgot I didn't have to hold down the button when it's angled like that. Great, now we're back to the other puzzle we can't figure out. Beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Oh god. You come back to keep me company. Okay then, humor me with a little hypothetical. Imagine that a few hours from now you climb to the top of that tower. There's a flash of light, then magic happens, and you find yourself in the real world, living whatever you take to be normal life there. What would you do then? You want chat support on puzzle answers, or you want to figure them out alone? I will let you know when I feel like I need, if I get to a point where when I can't figure it out, I'll let you guys know. What's right? Let's do what's right. No great surprises there, but let's make things just a little clearer. So tell me, the obligation you feel, is it only applicable to the real world, or does it simply apply here? Or does it apply here as well? Moral laws are universal. I'm cool with that. Thanks for making me feel better. Dorky Wolf, I'm glad that you could come by and have some entertainment. Thanks for stopping by. Are you leaving? Blah, 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 blah. What a magnanimous dictator you would make. Of course, I'm sure it would take a dictator to enforce a single moral code. Oh, wow! He can call me a dictator! I have stated time and time again that this stream is a dogmocracy, not a dictatorship, a dogmocracy. So come on then, what's your magic formula of choice? And let me warn you that this time you're going to have to choose just one. The more equal everyone's share, the better. Consequences don't matter, our reasons do. The goodness in the world is better. I see no way. I say the more goodness in the world, the better. Oh God! I'm choking on an oat! That damn granola bar! She's trying to kill me! Ah! I'm choked on an oat! A little piece of granola!
Woohoo! Shazbot!
Thanks for the host, guys! Shazbot! I'm not leaving, but my friends and I are having issues, and this is making us happy. So, oh, well, I'm glad that I'm making you happy. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. The more goodness in the world, the better. Ah, the old chestnut. So just what is the goodness that you're seeking to maximize? Oh, God. Liberty and wealth, all of the above. I'm in no position to solve this problem. Basic goods like food and healthcare, equality, all the above. And what happens when, in order to maximize wealth, you have to reduce liberty? Or when one person's equality gets in the way of another's happiness? Oh, Jesus. This is strangely on point for current trends and topics in the world. You can't have everything all at once. You're going to have to choose. I feel like with good food and healthcare, most people can trend towards happiness and other things, so I'm gonna go with that, because everything else, like, kind of falls by the wayside if your health fails you. Nothing else really matters. I feel a sneeze coming. Sorry if I've been passing with all the hellos. Hi, Ready Paw! What's up? The old pairing of ideas, but we'll ring them out and see what's what. The world is better only when the total amount of resources in it is higher. Doesn't matter who has them or what they're used for. Oh, God damn it. I don't like this. This is making me think. Protogen, demand your ram bites? Get your own damn ram bites! They're mine! Should they be shared equally? Isn't that communism? Or is that socialism? I think that's socialism. Communism's the one where everybody gets paid the same, right? I think there must be some other more important kind of good. I'll go with that. I didn't know you were an evil dictator. I'm not a freaking dictator. I'm a dogmocracy ruler. We rule under a dogmocracy. I ask for votes and you guys vote. Ultimately, I have the final say, but I take your votes into consideration. Which is what exactly? I think there may be some others more important kind of good. Ah, crap. I'm in no position to solve these problems. I can't deal with this. It's not, they don't ask. Admitting the problems are beyond your comprehension is the first step towards letting go. I will allow you to contemplate these matters further before contacting you again. I ain't got time to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this right now. I just want to solve puzzles. And I want to solve this stupid puzzle that I can't figure out. But now that we've been armed with some more knowledge, let's see what we can do with it. I'm getting the hang of it. I am getting the hang of it, except for this puzzle. He takes your votes into consideration, throws them in the fire. Yes! The votes don't matter! No, they do matter. I do actually take into consideration what you guys have to say. Because why would I stream if it wasn't something that you guys wanted to watch? You know what I mean? Like, if you guys voted and you didn't want to see a specific thing get streamed, then I won't stream it. Game that makes you think about puzzles and philosophy. Oh wait, can I? I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing now. I know what I'm doing. I didn't know I could jam the fans. It took me like an hour to figure that out. Dude, I didn't know I could jam the fans. I had no idea. Oh my god, guys, we beat. Oh my god, this puzzle's given me so much trouble recently. Yes! Oh my god, give me that dopamine straight to my head. Yes! Ah, bathing in the dopamine sweet release from solving that puzzle. Yes! Bathe me in it. Oh. I'm getting better at sheep herding. Keep going, keep practicing. I come in to hang out with you and rest and learn and watch you solve puzzles. Well, thanks. I appreciate you coming by and enjoying the stream. I'm totally returning your dogmocracy into a feudalism state when I take over. You know, it's not going to be feudalism. You're not turning into a feudalism. U.S. cat will be worshipped as gods once again. No! No! Guys, can we get some Cinder 7 poggers in the chat? Or not Cinder 7, just Cinder poggers. Cinder poggers. Wait, can I unlock something? That emote. There it is. Oh, no, 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 no. Done. These work? Yeah, so if you guys, by the way guys, if you don't have Better Twitch TV, download Better Twitch TV. That's an extension you can get on your browser. And you can have access to all the extra emotes that I don't have because I didn't get partner.
You have come far in your journey.
And then once I get partner, I'll make all those,
you have served our cause with
I'll make them available. Me working puzzles be like this is confusing. It is confusing, but you just keep pushing.
Beloved. Wield these, the instruments of our power, to fulfill your purpose and achieve eternal life.
Oh, you got something to say now? You got something to say now? No, you don't. You ain't got shit to say. Whew. Oh great, I get to use this thing. What did I unlock though? What was the new... Why does it matter that I scribble my contempt on these walls? I'm still surrounded by them. Lucky Husky, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock, welcome in. What was the new thing I unlocked? Ah! Guys, can we get some Cinder Pod claps? Cinder Pod clap. Kodai, hey! Does the BT TV? No, you can. Anybody can use them, as long as you have the Better Twitch TV installed or downloaded, the extension downloaded. Anybody can use them. So I'm saying, go ahead and just download it, because then you can have access to emotes while you're in the chat, as opposed to not having access to emotes. No, not the one Kodai did. Not the poggers. Alright, I know what I need to do. Oh, I screwed up. I think I need to grab that from up there. Oh, I almost missed my window. No! Alright, so that's the right idea. Husky, hey! Oh. Hold on. What? No, it fell off. Oh god.
Egg!
Tux is home. Tux.
Egg!
Hey, get out of here. Wait, did you get me some? What'd you get?
Egg!
That's not. Is that? what'd you-
Egg.
Okay, you're just gonna say egg. You're just gonna say egg. Bye, Tux. All right, so I think I had the right idea. I think I had the right idea. He left. He closed the door. He left me! He left me, chat! Damn it, why is it? Okay. So that... Alright, I got the right idea. I think I'm getting too close to the wall and it's knocking it off. I am not sus! For the love of God, I'm not sus! I'm telling you, I'm not sus!
Cinder sauce.
Hey, get out! Tux!
Cinder
Oh,
sus.
what'd you give me?
Egg.
Alright, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Got me cake! Thanks, babe. Alright, let's see if this will work. Tux brought me a drink. What is it, babe?
Egg, I mean it.
It's an egg? Is it eggnog coffee? Because that'd be delicious. That's all you're gonna say? Bye! Love you, bye. Thanks for the cake. Cinder's innocent. He was doing the task the whole time. He's innocent. No, I definitely stabbed Whiskey in the butt. Like, I'm not even gonna try to deny it. I definitely stabbed him in the butt. And I'll do it again! Come on, me. Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna eat some of this cake. You got me the lemon pound cake from Starbucks. Got some Starbucks. Some Startucks. Speaking of diabetes. Watching him big brain me at the end of the round, and I got nothing. No, I had nothing. I was about to end on task because Nibbles was doing the last task. I was gonna kill somebody, so I killed Multi. And I reported it. Wait, what? Alright, I did that one. So I reported it, and Whiskey called me out on it, and I tried to defend myself by attacking him, and he made a point that was irrefutable. I was not the imposter. No, I was the imposter like 7 times. It was actually kind of ridiculous. I wasn't recording. Son of a bitch. You learned a thing? Grandma, what'd you learn? Come on. Work. Ah, it's not quite. Oh, okay. Maybe? Oh, nice. Got more socks. For me? For you. You got socks. So you can stop wearing mine? Tux likes to wear my socks, and he finally got some socks, so now he won't wear mine anymore. He finally got some socks. I'm gonna eat this cake for a second while I think about this puzzle. He's been wearing my socks for like ever. Now he finally got his own socks. You have massive feet. Don't tell I have tiny feet. Tiny enough that he was still able to cram his feet into them. Alright. Cake has been consumed. Dragon's Bane. That's actually pretty good. Okay. I know what I need to do. Watch this. You guys ready for this? Big brain. Here we go. Rex has big feet? Yeah, he does. No! Oh, I got it just in time. There we go.
Your wisdom grows, but be wary of temptation.
Small brain for a small collie? Grimo, did you not just see me knock that puzzle out with like no trouble? Small brain, small collie. Grimo, I don't want to hear anything from you, Grimo. You're the derpy boy who brings joy. If anyone's got a small brain around here, it's you. Oh, these assholes again. You were hoping it wouldn't work? You're betting against the house. Come on. Fair, you are the derp. You are. Your like signature emote is a derpy emote. I don't know where you're coming from there, Grandma. Excuse me. Shigaka, what's up? I don't think this is gonna work. It's gonna be too slow. Ah, so close. Thank you for the blesses. This will work though. Done and done. Is that it? Did I do all the ones in this level? Hell yeah! And I know where the star is, but I'm not gonna go for it. I think Tuck's got a hazelnut latte. That's what it tastes like. I think it has something to do with you when you sneeze. People thought you were projecting demons out or something. I don't know. Rizillo, hey! Rizillo! What's up, Rizillo? No.
Before the age of chaos, there were other gods, old gods. But for all their power, they could not save their world. Thus, I was made, and I shall preserve this world forever, for you and your generations. That is my purpose.
Well, a little presumptuous, huh? Think that you matter so much? Am I doing well? I am. Rizilla, how are you?
Sometimes I worry that the answers I embrace are too simple. Can we ever truly fully understand the divide between our biology and our intellect? How much is nature? How much is nurture? If my intellectual capabilities and my knowledge were replicated in a machine, would that machine be me? Would it be human? And what would be more humbling to my ego? If the answer was yes, or if the answer was no? What if I'm making too many assumptions? But there's no time to worry about my ego now. There's work to be done.
Having fun with puzzles? I am. I always am. I like puzzle games. I like games that make you think. It's got a nice touch of philosophy to it too, which was unexpected, but not unwelcome. Okay. Do that, and we'll do that, and that, and throw that on there. And we'll cam that, and round. And done. Done! Why I like doing logic in Neos VR, because it's like puzzle with coding and mechanics. It's all about having a problem and working to, like, critically thinking to fix it, right? And I do that at work all the time. This is just a way of practicing it and changing the way that you approach situations. Whee! By the way, guys, in case you were curious, this is definitely my first playthrough of this game. Legitimately, I've never played this game before. So all these puzzles, aside from the ones that I tried, that one that took me a few tries, I've already seen, or I've never seen before, rather. This is my first time for a lot of these puzzles. This is my first time seeing them. I want to watch, but you a furry? That's okay. I'd like to have you around, but you seem like kind of a jerk. Man! Ain't got time to play games. You don't have a hammer, but you have a duck with a knife? Equally as scary. I did all that for this? What's this you hearing about jerks? Ah, somebody came in and said something stupid. And got punished for their decisions. What is this? How does this help me? Ah! I know how it helps me. I mean, this is a friendly environment and community. The best BAP. Don't ban the BAPs! Music is so relaxing, it is. Okay, then we get this up in the air like this. That'll knock out the first few. Go. Did I miss one? Thought I had more. What did I do? Oh, I can do this. There we go. Neat. How powerful does that fan need to be? Pretty freaking powerful. You're a smart cookie. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I try to be. Yeah. Oh, our computer friend wants to talk to us. I've decided that for now it doesn't matter too much if you can't justify your moral intuitions of yours. In fact, just in case by some outside chance you prove to be right, I'd like to sign up for the gang. If you're in charge of the Ark, will be first aboard when the flood comes? What does one have to do to be valued above all others? I don't see how to explain this to you. But what will really bug you is whether that's because there is no answer or because you aren't thinking outside the box you live in. Let me lay my cards on the table. While it seems prudent to me to hedge my bets, you just haven't made clear enough proposal for me to buy what you're peddling. There's something about the way you talk that makes me uncomfortable. Be for the best if you work out what it is before I do. Wow. Who are you? I need sleep. Rob Map, take care. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Go practice your herding, yeah? What kind of vibes do I give off? Friend or annoyance? I don't really... nothing neither, really. Acquaintance? Person who hangs out in the same streams as I do? I don't know if that's the answer you want, but... I wouldn't really say I have, like... You know, I have a pretty small group of people who I'd consider, like, close friends, so... Do you consider the movie Babe to be anti-sheep propaganda, anti-sheepdog propaganda? No. Look, you can put all the propaganda out there that you want against sheepdogs. I promise you, people will still like us. Okay. Okay, let's see. I gotta open up blue, open up red. Where's my little lasery thing? Where's my thing that lets me shoot lasers? I don't understand. Where are they hiding it? I can't do this puzzle without my laser redirector. There it is. I had a hunch. I went with it. I suppose Tom and Jerry's anti-cat propaganda. I mean, same vein, could be. Who knows? Gotta be another one around here then, right? I get it back up there? I don't need to. Unless I don't need.
Woohoo! Shot
Share
spot.
spot. Right, Husky, thanks for the host. Not quite enough. Okay. Okay, we can do it on this one then. Gonna be difficult like that? Oh my god, are you freaking kidding me? Are you serious? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my god. Was fair enough answer? Okay. Are you freaking kidding me? Alright, hold on. I got an idea. We reset this level. I kind of know what needs to be done. I might be able to do it from up there. Who's calling me? Get out of here! Telemarketers! Jerks! Blutra, hey! What's up, Blutra? Okay, so it doesn't work the way I thought it would. I need that cube. Oh, I do have an extra cube. There it goes. Okay, so we got that one. Can I make it with just this? Need one more. Okay, that's what I thought. Which means I need that one up there. Alright, now I have all these cubes. A clear objective. We just need to execute. I think I know what I can do. That goes there. That goes there. This comes here. We attach it to that and to that. Set it and forget it. Take these cubes over here. Oh, damn it, I left those cubes in there. Okay, it's okay. I can take this. I should do it. There it goes. Done! Alright guys, last one. Last puzzle. Last puzzle. You guys enjoy this? Are you guys enjoying this game? Are you finding it, you know, entertaining to watch? How the hell do I get through that? What? Oh, the jammer. You loved playing through it? Yeah, it's been, I'll be honest, it's been really fun. It's been a fun game. What's on the other side of this? Mostly missing the music and conversation. Like, fun enough to watch now that I want to play it. It is, I highly recommend it. I've genuinely enjoyed my time with this game. Alright, how does that help me? idea. Need that though. How do I get this? Alright, we got that. So we can get that. Means now I can use the jammer however I want. Dude, let's test my proof of concept here. Kinda works. Huh. Tristan, what's up, Tristan? Guys, if you don't watch Tristan, and you haven't seen... So, Tristan's going for partner, first and foremost. If you haven't watched Tristan, I highly suggest that you go watch Tristan. He's funny as hell. He's also a dino dingus. And if you're like me, you like dino dinguses. You should definitely go watch Tristan. Oh, I can use this. Dude, Saber gifted out tier 1 sub to Tristan. Tristan, you're covered under collie care from the flops to the beads. I got from the dino horns to the stompy hooves. I got you covered, Tristan. Ooh, guys, sorry. I am super thinking on this puzzle. I think I got it. Dude, so close! What did I do wrong? That's gotta be the solution, right? That's gotta be it. Okay, I just had it positioned wrong. Oh, come on! Let me have it, game! It's getting it on the back, ah. Give it to me, game! Come on! Come on, I'm so tired. I just want to beat this last puzzle. How is that? Okay, that's gotta be the solution. I know, okay. Alright. This has to be the solution. I know, I don't think, there's not many, there's really no other solution I can think of at the moment. But when it comes back this way, it loses connection. Oh, I can just do this. My eldest number is so smart, he learned his numbers really well. Well, good for him. He's gonna go far. I have a feeling this plan's gonna not work, and I know exactly why. Oh, it did work. What the hell? What was the point of all the other stuff? What the hell is the point of all the other stuff then? Distraction? Look, I still think my idea should have been the real solution with the bouncing it between the two fans. I wonder if that was the legitimate solution and I just cheesed the game, but that should have been the real solution if you ask me, because I feel like that was the harder of the two solutions to come up with. To make you confused? Yeah, but I think that mine was better. I think my solution was the better one. Alright guys, we are going to end it there. We're gonna end it there, because we're gonna go find someone to raid. Moss the freaking fox! Is that Moss? Moss, what's up, Moss? Moss! Coco Pebble, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Gaining with Twitch, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the Floppy Flock. Welcome in. The 13th Seahawk, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Mr. Doggo 200, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Ah la la la. All right, let's go find out who we can raid. Who do you guys want to raid? We can go raid Multi. You guys want to go see Multi? Ritual, he got partner today? Did he really? Raid Grimo? We could go raid Grimo. Playing Vampire. Do you guys want to do Multi or Grimo? Multi or Grimo? Put a smile on my face every time I hang out. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a nice compliment. Thank you. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna drop you guys off at Grimo's chat. All right, guys. The raid alert is going to be. We'll do flops greater than derps. That's gonna be our raid message, guys. Guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you learned. I hope you guys had fun. I'll be back probably tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, and then maybe Friday. I don't know. The next stream will be tomorrow. We'll play more games. Let's hit up the discharge desk on the way out. Thanks for the hanging out with me, guys. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the gift subs. The hype train. You guys are freaking awesome. The bits. Holy freaking crap. Yes, if you have the Grimo Derp, use Grimo Derp too. Today was fun. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys learned a lot today. I appreciate you guys coming by. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Make sure you have your insurance cards ready. Co-payments due at time of treatment. If you're not happy with your coverage, that's too damn bad. You guys are freaking awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye.
Text it from a file. So it's possible to make a small program that
It's not better than derps. Liar. Hello